Okay, well, here we go. Okay, guys. Welcome. Session 8. I will start off as I usually do with a recap from the last session. And we'll get right into things. So, as the last session began, Nightingale, Corvus, and Douglan had just walked Anton back to the winery. Anton excused himself to arrange dinner, and the group settled in. A short time later, a worker burst in stating that he saw Anton getting chased through the vineyard by masked, dark-cloaked men. The party ran as fast as they could in search of Anton and those chasing him. I can hear someone listening to the stream in the background. Guilty as charged. The party soon found the men near the Alum vineyard. The battle erupted with a strange twist. As the party attacked, a second group emerged from the vineyard and started to attack the men as well. The battle came to a head as one of the men slit Anton's throat. Thankfully, Anton was saved, and the man was subdued for questioning. As the group questioned the man, the revelation came forth that the masked men were members of the Dooms. Most concerning was the fact that the man who slit Anton's throat was a childhood friend, a man named Duran Whitfield. Duran's family owned an orchard only 30 minutes from Tianchar Winery, an orchard that the Whitfield family has owned for centuries. With the situation now calmed, the two parties began to question each other. A discussion that Anton suggested move back to the winery, as it was clear that the two groups had a common enemy that needed to be better understood. As the discussion continued, Nightingale, Corvus, and Douglan came to meet Allanon, Brash, and Allanon's panther, Allanon. The decision was made to take Duran and one of the other surviving attackers to the vanguard. A decision that Allanon and Brash struggled to understand, but agreed to in the end. After a quick round trip into the City of Evendor to drop the men off, the party settled in for the night at Tianchar Winery. The next morning, as the party went about their morning routines, 3 armed riders approached the winery. It was Tandar, Roko, and Brogir, 3 of the King Xanthrum's emissaries. They explained that Bellin had been called back to the kingdom of Xanthrum due to the growing tensions between the kingdoms of Easterly. The 3 men still hoped to meet with King Evendor and asked for Douglan's help. Douglan agreed, and the party headed for the City of Evendor once again. During the trip, Corvus pulled Nightingale and Douglan aside. He explained that he understood that there was unfinished business to attend to in Evendor, but that he could wait no longer to get into the wilds. He was concerned with checking on his family, searching for Patter, and trying to better understand how the Brethren were involved in his capture. Nightingale and Douglan assured Corvus that they understood his need to find answers and wished him well. As the party reached the main road, Corvus and Mithras turned north as the remainder of the party turned south. Somehow, they all felt that they would see each other again. As today's session begins, it is the 31st day of the 3rd Trigon of Gath's influence at approximately 8 a.m. It is a beautiful, warm, sunny day, the kind of day that gives promise of a beautiful summer ahead. The party, along with King Xanthrum's emissaries, have arrived at the outer gates into the City of Evendor.
Rock and roll. So, sorry,
So I don't know if anybody, I would assume at some point before you had actually arrived at the gates, there would have been some conversation with Brash in terms of what capacity he would show up. Is he going to be in costume again, pose as another panther? So you can make that decision before we roll forward.
Brash.
Jester outfit on.
I'll hold up the costume.
Will that work during the day?
Probably better than your cloak, I would say. But you did pull off quite the wild cat look as well. It's all up to you, my good friend.
Did we decide where we're going first?
We will check in with the Vanguard, see what they have to say.
Yeah, they're
Show
used
you.
to seeing me in that outfit, so let me get that on.
Watch the claws, you don't rip it. It's expensive.
Gotta tuck in your
No.
tail.
Yes.
The claws only come out when necessary, and the tail, I can fit it across my belt.
Perfect. So he's dressed as a person, dressed as a cat person, dressed as a costume cat person. It's foolproof. It's foolproof.
I've got it.
I'm not sure I do.
All right, so the party makes their way through town back to the Vanguard Keep here in the City of Evendor. As you approach the front entrance, you do see one familiar face, one of the guards that was there the night before, and then a second gentleman that you do not recognize. The one you recognize introduced himself the night before as Durwald.
So, am I correct in the assumption that Tandar, Roko, and Ophir are with us?
I'm sorry, I think that was me.
Your long stride is going.
Sorry. Every time I do that, I'm like, who's pushing buttons? And then it's me.
And then it's me. Sorry, continue.
Are the Easterly Guards with us currently?
They are. Yep. The three emissaries are traveling with you. Their hopes are you get to arranging a visit with the king as quickly as possible, but they know there's business at hand.
Okay. Durwald, my good man, we're back seeking information about the dooms we dropped off last night.
Just wait here a minute, and I will go in and speak with the commander and see what he has to say.
Much appreciated, my good man.
Durwald disappears inside. The other guard holds his position outside there. And he looks a little nervous, kind of looking the motley group over. In particular, eyeing up the easterly emissaries. Recognizing their armor. He knows that they're from the east.
Douglan, perhaps you will do the honors of seeing as I've got a bit of clout in this town, I would believe.
Let's hope so.
How's that head of yours? You did put quite a bit away last night.
It was a long night, yes. Not gonna lie. Feeling a little bit this morning. But there's a job to be done. Let's get to it.
Indeed.
And I'm gonna kind of just lean over and, just put my arm on Brash. Say, trust us, lad. Okay?
We shall see.
So Durwald reappears, and he says, well, Rainier has agreed to meet with you, but we ask that just 2 of you come in for this meeting.
Well,
yeah.
I believe Douglan, you should be going, and maybe Allanon.
I was about to say I could wait outside.
Or Brash, if you would like to go.
Interests me to see what happens, but this is your justice system. Whoever's most appropriate.
Well then, I say, Allanon, you handle yourself very well as a princess and more accustomed to these traditions than I would assume Brash is. And plus Brash, she is a trusted comrade for you, so her word will mean more than ours when it comes to relaying information, correct?
This is true.
And you and I shall stay out here and get into trouble. I mean, stay out of trouble.
Perk up.
Alright, well, I guess Allanon will hop off her little kitty cat,
Her
Have her-
steed.
sit outside.
All
He
right,
will-
Durwald leads Douglan and Allanon inside of the keep, and you travel across sort of the central courtyard and enter what looks like it is probably one of the main offices. There is an armored gentleman who is standing in there waiting for you. He turns as Durwald walks inside, and Durwald says, these are the folks that wanted to see you, sir. And Durwald leaves, closing the doors behind him. The gentleman turns towards you and says, well, good afternoon. My
Are there
name is
chairs in here?
Rainier. What's that?
Are there chairs in here?
There are.
Alright,
Yes.
well, Allanon's gonna climb up on a chair so she's eye level with everyone.
All right. There, he's standing behind a desk, a fairly large desk. There are about a half dozen chairs positioned in front of the desk. He says, my name is Commander Rainier. I look after the vanguard here in the City of Evendor. And we understand that you are members of the group that dropped off the 2 dooms to us tonight. I do completely understand that you would like to better understand what we've been able to determine in speaking with these gentlemen through the night. So please, feel free to ask your questions.
Pleasure to meet you. Thanks for seeing us. My name is Douglan McCain, formerly the captain of the King's Guard here. This is Princess Allanon.
It is a pleasure and an honor to meet you both.
What were you able to glean from that filth in there?
Commander Rainier goes over and he takes a seat behind the desk and kind of points for Douglan to do the same. And he says, well, I'm going to begin by saying that we are aware that the Whitfield family is involved with the Dooms. To the best of our knowledge, we believe that Duran is at least a 4th or 5th generation Doom. His family has been on our watch for years, and it is quite unfortunate to see the series of events that has transpired here most recently. Last night, as we questioned Duran, he did confess to the attack on Anton. To be honest, he was actually quite distressed about the events that transpired. His explanation was that a shadow came to his orchard a few nights ago with the requirement to question and kill Anton. Duran took 4 of his men along with the shadow to the orchard to complete this job. According to Duran, the shadow wanted to know what connection Anton had to the Githyanki. Duran has no idea who the Githyanki are, but he was executing upon the request.
Can I ask what's a shadow?
Of course. Shadows are the name that are given to members of the Dooms that move between these covert pockets of its membership, giving them information and missions to complete. They are generally magic in nature, magic users, wizards, but they are sort of the connection that keeps this covert organization held together.
Rainier, do you know what that lad did?
I do.
Outside of Anton?
Oh, beyond the events of last night?
Yes.
What in particular are you looking to know about?
Well, I'm going to turn to Princess Allanon, and perhaps you should maybe ask if they got information on that.
Princess?
I'm trying, I'm thinking. Did he speak of any events that took place in the wilds?
He did not. Is there a particular event that he has information on?
Him and a group of what I assume are the Dooms traveled to the wilds in search of pelts, and they slaughtered innocents while there. We were hoping to figure out why and what they were trying to do with the pelts.
Well, unfortunately, Duran did not mention anything of this nature, though we were specifically questioning him about the events of last night. The Vanguard have a lot of questions for Duran and the other gentleman that was captured last night. Currently, we are waiting on orders, waiting on word from the Vanguard High Command as to how to proceed with the Whitfields in general. In the meantime, the 2 men will be held here. We will ask Duran about events that occurred in the wild and see if there is anything else that we can glean on that particular topic for you.
Any information would be appreciated.
It will be a pleasure to get it from him.
Ranier, he said specifically it had to do with the Dooms getting them pelts. It's very pertinent.
Yes, that is quite interesting to better understand what it would be that the Dooms would be doing, going after animal pelts.
Posies!
Allanon's gonna hiss slightly at the animal. They weren't animals. She's gonna kind of stare him down from her position standing on the chair. They
My
were people.
apologies, princesses. Am I missing something?
They were people.
They skinned people?
Yes.
Then we will definitely get the information you were looking for.
What then, Renier? Once you've gleaned all you can, what do you do with them?
My guess is that High Command will have them transported to a facility that will assure they never see another sunrise from.
Allanon, do you think that'll be satisfactory?
Is this like a deep dark hole, or is this like death never gonna see the sunrise?
It would be better described as a deep dark hole.
Has anyone ever escaped from said deep dark hole?
Many have left, but all were in boxes.
It should be adequate.
Are you able to send a little bit more protection to Anton? Seems he's a target, a big one.
Based on what we learned last night, we have already dispatched watchers, shall we say. They are keeping an eye on Tianchar Winery as we speak. Again, we are waiting for further instructions from our high command on how to proceed with the Whitfields, as that seems to be the source of concern at this point.
Again, you know he's a target, right?
We understand, Douglan.
Right.
If he dies on your watch, we'll hold you personally responsible.
That is fair.
All right. Well, seems you have things in hand.
We are doing the best we can. As I said, we have known of these concerns with the Whitfields and their involvement in the Dooms for some time. We are surprised things have escalated so quickly, and we are trying to better understand the entire situation.
This might be a big ask, but are there other cells that you can let me know about? I mean, this was my neighbor. I just came from Syrianel, kind of helping her out as well. Yet I don't even know that my neighbor's part of the Dooms. Neither
There
do
are
they.
other Doom cells, as you refer to them, within the Kingdom of Evendor. None, I believe, would be any immediate concern to Anton or Tianchar Winery.
What about the king?
The king is part of our protection at all times.
Understood. Well, I have nothing further. Princess, what about you?
Just that we'll be back for more information when you have it.
Give me 24 hours. Return tomorrow at this time. I will share what I can.
Fair enough.
All right, Rainier stands, and Derwold will be waiting for you just outside the doors to take you back outside. Thank you again for bringing Duran and his man to us. I'm very happy to know that Anton is okay, and we will do our best, as I know you will, to assure that continues.
All right. Thank you. As we're walking back, I'm gonna say, "You're telling him, Princess."
I'm not telling him, you're telling him.
Yeah. That boy don't listen to me.
Okay, you head back outside. Derwalt is indeed waiting just outside the doors. He escorts you back across the courtyard to the main entrance. and sees you outside where the rest of the group is anxiously waiting your return.
Nightingale set up a sideshow. Come, pet the jaguar. See the cat boy.
Of course he has.
He already has a bag of coins.
How much did I get?
Your cat's 3 copper, boy. You're starting out.
I'm just saying, if there's a thing and he's having people pet the jaguar, then I'm scooping a bunch of coins out when I get back.
Everyone wants their cut.
Rough.
Oh, how's the how clean is the city? Is this really stinking to me, or is it a nice clean sewer?
Evendor is a very clean, organized sort of. I want to say unusually cleaner, tidier, more organized than many of the places you would find throughout Emathan.
The pinnacle of civilization.
Yes.
I'll be pacing back and forth and glaring at anybody who drops coins.
Not how we do it in show business.
All right.
So when they come
Douglan and Allanon emerge.
your answers, Brash. Your answers.
I purposely walk behind Allanon.
I walk up to Alan and look over her head at you, going,
I'm like this. I'm like, yeah.
that you're on your knees. You got a
I'm
problem.
like, yeah, it's a nice day. Looking over there.
Oh, look at the time. I got
Yeah.
this thing.
Checking my arm.
So we gotta go meet the king real quick.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Do tell. What did you find out? Did they pull their fingernails out, poke them in the eye with hot sticks?
Yes.
Thought torture wasn't allowed here.
Are they
Well,
still
I'm
alive?
joking. I'm joking. It was a tasteless joke. I'm sorry. Tasteless.
No!
I'm sorry.
Dear Lord.
Yes, and what else did they do?
They're continuing to interrogate them. We'll know more in 24 hours.
This justice takes time.
That
It's
is
not,
the bureaucratic way.
It's not the justice that takes time. It's the questioning. Lives could be saved. Lives could be saved. Remember that, Brash. You're doing a great service to everyone by leaving their entrails in.
In.
Yes, Allanon,
As
correctly.
opposed to when they
Out.
become out trails.
Allanon, you're forgetting the part about a deep dark hole and never seeing the light of day again.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
All right.
So shall we get these easterly gods to an audience, Douglan? I'm sure they're biting at the bit. They did come a long way.
Douglan looks at the group, kind of like the guard did, and he's like, "There's no way in hell I'm getting all these in front of the king."
Oh, I've got
well.
stuff to do, and I think me and Brash will be a good pairing.
Let's give it a shot. So, yeah, I'm gonna go up to Tandar, Brogir, and Roko, and just be like, "Your timing was bad, but let me see what I can do. Let me do the talking, okay? Let's see if we can get in front of them. Any additional news from the orc front?"
Nothing since we arrived here. We do expect another message sometime today.
All right. So I would probably know where to go. I would assume.
You would. So,
Okay.
so for clarification, because I know, Douglan, we've had a few conversations back on this, but make sure. So, Douglan was a captain in the Royal Guard, okay, but you were never a part of the Castle Guard.
Right.
So there is a Royal Guard that is tasked with protecting the king overall, but there is, within that guard, there is the Royal Guard that specifically protects just the castle itself. but you know the Royal Guard having, you'll know lots of members of the Royal Guard having been a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying, Douglan, is you held a flag up.
Ah, yes. I was a flag boy.
Oh, dear Lord. The truth comes out and it hurts, doesn't it?
He traveled behind the horses, scooping
Yes.
up.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes, Douglan, to more specifically answer your question, you would know exactly where you need to go to try and speak with someone about an audience with the king.
Well, let's head that way.
Well, Douglan, seeing as we are a big and diverse group, to put it lightly, perhaps you and the Easterly Guards go to see if you can get audience. A smaller group will probably have more success, and I'll take the others. I've got a few messages I need to send to the Penumbra Bards, and we can stay out of trouble and stay out of your way.
I also don't think that gigantic cat's going to be welcome inside the king's quarters, if you will. Question for you, Allanon. I know you're here, or have we found out you're an emissary of some kind? I don't know if we played that out yet.
I don't remember.
I do
Did I
believe
say-
it,
I
it
think I've
came
said
up
it.
in the chat. Yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do believe
It
it
did,
came up
okay.
in the discussion.
Would you like to go with him, Allanon?
I'd like to meet the king.
Or at least as far up the chain as you can get?
Mhm.
I'd like to meet the king.
I can keep an eye on Allanon.
Aranon.
Aranon.
Well, we'll take Aranon with us. Like I said, we can pretend we're a bardic troop cruising around. It won't look suspicious at all.
There you go. I'm also wondering if Rogier, with your leader gone, is there one that speaks for you three? I'm not sure I can get all three of you in. Perhaps it's better to just choose one smaller group,
If only one of us can go, Tandar will speak on our behalf.
All right. Come on, Tandar. Princess. And the three of us will head to where we need to.
I'm pretty sure, Douglan, that all three of the Easterly Gods would go with you, but if only one
Yes.
could go in.
The others will just wait outside.
Okay.
They'll all go.
Okay.
I don't want them next to me. Thank you.
Don't have outfits for them.
You don't have some more clown outfits for them?
No, I only had one
Okay,
cost.
so Douglan, Allanon, and our three emissaries from the Kingdom of Xanthrum. You make your way through town, heading straight to the castle. You are, as I described, the castle sits within sort of the final ring, the final wall of the various sections of the city. When you get to the third wall, that's where normal folk are stopped and questioned. Douglan's able to get you fairly quickly through that area. Within that wall is simply where the Royal Guard call home. You make your way up to the second gate, and again, Douglan's able to talk to the right contacts, and you find yourselves at the entrance to the castle. Douglan, the Royal Guard is most notably present everywhere since you entered the inner rings. They are what you can easily perceive as on high alert, with much larger patrols that are more often patrolling the grounds, patrolling the walls. This area of the City of Evendor is locked down pretty tight. You make your way to the castle entrance, where there are a couple of guards standing there. One of them, as you approach, walks up to To the 5 of you it would be, and state your business.
Would I know the guy's name? Decent chance, maybe.
You don't know who specifically the king has as his closest advisors at this time.
Mm-hmm.
You know you need to speak with the king's advisors
Mm-hmm.
about, you've been sort of out of it for a year. You're not 100% who might still be the advisors. So, but you know you'll have to speak to the advisors.
Okay. Name's Douglan McCain. Perhaps you've heard of me.
I'm
No.
sorry, Douglan, I have not.
No. I'm from Tianchar Wineries. I'm here to see the advisors to the king, if I may. We have some important business to discuss.
I will have the advisors come and meet you at once. The gentleman disappears through the doors into the castle. And maybe 5 minutes or so later, returns. There's a single advisor. You do recognize this person as Seerless, who is a Seerless White Mark, is the magic advisor to the king. Seerless recognizes you, and he comes over. You know, he's wearing his royal wizardly robes and such, with his hands tucked in front of him, and he comes up and he says, Douglan McCain.
In the flesh.
It has been quite a while, Douglan.
How are you, Master Whitemark?
I am well, and yourself?
Oh, it's been a lifetime since I've seen you last.
Indeed, I am aware of the situation that has transpired with yourself and your family, and I do give my gravest condolences.
I appreciate that. And,
What brings you to the castle on this day?
Well, actually, there's several things I'm hoping to discuss with you. First and foremost, I have some emissaries from Easterly that are looking to have an audience with the king. I guess the trouble in their lands is getting worse, I should say. There's some orc lord that's taken over, and I think they're going to be asking for some help from us. Anyway, I said I would look into getting them in front of whoever they need to discuss. And then, since last night, there's something else that's come up, and I turned to this is Princess Allanon, and I'll let her speak for herself about why she's here.
Do you two wish an audience with the king?
Yes.
Is there anything in particular you wish to speak to the king about, or is this simply an introduction of royalty?
An introduction, mostly. I am Princess Allanon of the Twin Kingdoms, daughter of Shannara the Wise, ambassador of the Empress of Lorraith, and emissary of Skandar. And we are looking for allies among the protected lands.
Well, it is very good to meet you, and I will take this to the king. Douglan, as you know, there is a bit of a process we will need to follow. I will get the other advisors together. We will come back. You can plead your cases to the 3 of us, and we will discuss it. If we feel that there is a need for you to meet with the king, we will approve it. As you know, I'm sure anyone who is spending time in the Kingdom of Evendor right now knows the king was recently attacked. He's recovering from the attack, and we are trying to limit the number of audiences that he is currently taking. I do believe that you have a good reason I will be back shortly.
Thank you, Master Whitemark. Yes, there's some more to tell as well. And that was my next question, to see how the king is doing.
He has been better. I will return shortly. With that, Searless leaves, and we will turn over to Nightingale and Brash. What y'all doing?
Nightingale has to find a messenger to send message to the Penumbra Bards in Allanon. So, is there a way he can track that down with Brash and Allanon in tow?
So are you looking to just find someone that could deliver a message, or are you trying to track down Penumbra Bards within the city?
I would look for the most secure way. So if I could track down a Penumbra Bard, then that would probably be the best. This is pretty.
Well, Nightingale knows there's a Penumbra Bard that oversees every major city in the protected land. So you know there somewhere here there is a Penumbra Bard. So you could go about looking for that bard, which obviously would be the most secure way to get a message back to the college.
We will do that. We will wander the city. I will check out all of the bardic hotspots where we're generally found.
Okay.
Brash,
you guys
will tour the city. I hope you don't mind. We can't hear you, Brash.
How long do you think these audiences would last, do you think?
I think they'll be occupied for at least an hour. We've got time.
Not too long.
Not too long, no. We'll be back in good time, I hope. Shouldn't take too long to track down another one of my own. Besides, I think you handle Allanon much better than me. I wasn't sure last night if I was going to be eaten alive when that thing came around.
I don't think he eats people or things alive. He
Allanon
usually kills them.
Look up at you and blink slowly.
He usually kills them first.
Ah, good. Good to know.
Oh, that's reassuring.
Okay. Well,
all right.
Those two in tow?
Yeah, you, Nightingale and Brash, you guys head out around the city, asking questions about entertainment within the city, taverns that may have live music, if there are any particular music stores in town, places that you think you might be able to get an idea of where and if you can track down the Penumbra Bard. You find out that there is, within the city, an area that's referred to as the Entertainment District. There are a lot of music halls and theater buildings and such. You head into the Entertainment District, and as you're walking the street, the main street through this area of town, you see a theater called the Watchtower Theater, and it has a well-hidden to all but a Penumbra Bard symbol showing that is a location for a Penumbra Bard.
Well, Brash, we seem we're in luck.
I got a little image here that I found to kind of give you an idea of what the theater looks like.
Brash is staring around at all the things, and just like, how do people live like this?
We suffer through it, boy. We suffer through it. Okay, awesome. I will enter the theater with my troop in tow.
So the theater is there's no production currently going on. You kind of walk into the central ground floor where the stage area is, and there are two very, very fancily dressed people who seem to be giving direction to the others. You identify immediately, Nightingale, that they are involved in some sort of dress rehearsal. These two are standing in front of the stage, directing people around. And as you approach, one of them turns, seeing you sort of walk over in, well, both of you in costume. And he sort of taps on the shoulder. One appears to be a man. They're both dressed very flamboyant. One appears to be a woman, and they are in costume, half masks. And they turn and they walk over towards you, and the lady says, "Oh my goodness! Do I know you?"
She's speaking to me?
She's speaking to Nightingale.
I don't believe we've had the honor of knowing each other quite yet. I'm Nightingale. You?
My name is Della Amberlance, and this is my husband, Elvord Amberlance. You do look very familiar to me. Might I have met you somewhere before?
I did do some training in Allanon. Perhaps you may have...
Maybe that is it then. What brings you to our little theater today?
Can I tell if either of these are a Penumbra Bard?
You're getting the vibe that they likely both are.
I'm studying the division point between their mask and their face, staring at, trying to figure out what the hell.
The gentleman says, well, now, I would like to introduce myself as well. My name is Elvord Amberlance, as my wife has said, and I am most certain that we have met before, Nightingale. Maybe you could join us in our office and we could catch up a bit.
I'm gonna do an insight check, see if he's lying through his teeth.
Go ahead.
Oh, look at that.
That's it. He is not lying. He knows who Nightingale is.
Okay.
Be Brash, would you be so kind as to wait out here with Allanon while I discuss a few matters with my friends?
Okay.
Don't wander off. Don't. Just stay there.
I'll
Just
find
don't.
a place. I'll find a place around the outside which is elevated, and just watch the goings on the stage.
Perfect.
With I'm just gonna stare. It's like, what the hell?
I shouldn't be long, my good man.
That would be quite an unusual experience for Brash to see a theater production occurring.
All right,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, with Nightingale and Brash go off in different directions, Allanon's gonna look very confused, and she's gonna pat
I was
after
gonna
one,
bring her
then
with
turn
me.
around and pat after the other, and then kind of, because her instructions were to stay with the two of them, she doesn't know what to do.
Here. Wants to be alone.
Go with Brash, Allanon. He'll watch you for a moment. I shouldn't be long. Then I'll slip off with the two.
All right, they take you sort of through a back door into the back side of the theater there, where the where the actors and the props and they live and all that sort, to their office. They bring you inside and they close the door and the two of them immediately drop the personas. The one who introduced herself as Della turns to Nightingale and goes, "Nightingale, my name is Wren."
And it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm glad I was
And-
able to track you down.
Well, indeed, and we were not aware that another bard was coming to Evendor. The gentleman, also dropping the persona that he was carrying outside, says, "Nightingale, my name is Starling. I assume you are here on business, so how is it that we can help you?"
Well, as you may or may not have been told, as one of my first assignments, I was set to Tea and Char Winery for a pickup.
We are
And-
aware of that assignment, yes.
It would seem there's been a bit of a hiccup in the pickup. Excuse the play on words, but can't help myself.
You're a poet and didn't know it.
Oh, we're bad. Hopefully none of this gets on stage. But it would seem that Tea and Char Winery has been destroyed. And the Alm wine production is at a standstill until I and the brother-in-law, no, son-in-law, thank you, of the owner can track down a specific tool needed in the production of the Alm wine. So
I see.
I have tracked you down to send word to the penumbras in Allanon. I have a few things, and I was wondering if one of you could get a message to them as quickly as possible.
We can send a message immediately if required. We share sending stones with the college.
Excellent, excellent. I have 3 things to report, and I think they'll be interested. One of which is a bit of a personal matter, but I'm sure a bit of help could be extended on this issue. The first thing I need to ask is, you inform them that I am helping Douglan McCain to retrieve the Moonlight Sickle, I believe it is called, which is necessary for the production of the Alm wine. So I'll be off into the wilds for a while and out of contact.
Understood.
The second item is there are some dooms in the city of Allanon trading in furs. Now, these furs come from a humanoid cat creature, so they should be very easy to spot. And I was wondering if they could track down any information or leads into who is dealing in these furs and who is supplying them.
And your final message?
This one's a biggie. I think there's an opportunity for the Penumbra Bards to offer assistance to the Tea and Char Winery and the goings-on to the destruction. And I'm not sure if any of you have any know-how of why this winery was attacked. But I have recently discovered that the Tea and Char Winery was attacked because of an interdimensional being known as the Githyanki. They are after the wine because it gives them strength beyond their natural abilities. They are fighting another, I guess, clan of their kind called the Githyanthor. They are our allies in this conflict. Now, you'll have to excuse me if I get the bits and bobs wrong. It's been quite a bit of information overload over the last couple of weeks. But my thinking is, if we can supply some of the Penumbra Bard's supply of the Ulm wine to the Githin Thor, it may aid the winery getting back on its feet faster. And maybe in exchange for that help, we get a little heftier sway in where the Ulm wine goes.
Let's see.
It's a big ask, I know.
Well, we can only deliver the messages. We do have a set time each day where we do check in. We will pass this along to the college and see what they come back with.
It would be appreciated. I am far over my station for sure, but I'm going to see this to the end. I guarantee it. What
Is
have
there
you...
anything else we can help you with?
There's one thing. You two seem to be nestled in the city quite well. What have you heard about this king's attack? Do we have any leads on who or what is involved in this?
Ren speaks, and well, we did a little digging to. Obviously, the college is interested to know exactly what's been happening. There is not much information that is coming out of the castle right now. They are being extremely tight with information about the king. The general public is being told that the king was sick, not that there was an assassination attempt, as they are trying to, I'm sure, quell any concern amongst the public. Those that have connections know that there was an assassination attempt and that the king is supposedly recovering from his injuries.
Strange times indeed. Oh, one other thing that might be of interest to the Penumbers. It would seem emissaries from Easterly have been sent to the kingdom of, or I should say, the protected lands to try to find allies. It would seem that the war with the Iceborne Orcs has taken a shift for the worst. It would seem they have a new leader who's rallying them to make a push.
We have been informed about the situation, the growing situation in the east. Not a lot of details, but we do know that the war is not going well for the Centaurs, and there is a definite threat to Easterly if the push continues.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, if you could get those messages across, I think that would pretty much sum up what I've been up to. I tell you, I thought I'd be shipping a wagon back to Allanon at this point, but...
Indeed. Well, we will pass these messages along during our regularly scheduled check-in. It may take some time before the college has answers to these questions. Maybe check back in a day or so.
I think I can arrange that. I don't think we're headed off too quickly, but, you know, if you could push a little for some answers quickly, I would appreciate it. We must get on our way to get this sickle. I do have quite the journey ahead of me.
Indeed. We will do our best to get you answers.
Well, I appreciate it. Ren and Starling, it was a pleasure to meet you. And Starling, you said you knew me. I can't place your voice or person.
We have never met, but I know a Nightingale when I see one.
Yes, it would seem so. Well, I hate to make this such a short visit, but I did leave a friend outside, and I'd hate to leave him for too long. Tends to get in a bit of trouble.
Okay, you, Brash, you're, kind of wandering around outside, trying to... There's maybe a couple of dozen people who are involved in that production on the stage, as you and, you and Aranon watch the production.
Anything really shiny?
Nothing that catches your particular attention. They are not in costume right now. They're just, they have their lines and they're practicing. The building itself is, nothing like anything you've ever seen before, the theater itself.
Well, I'll familiarize with the entrances and exits and just watch the antics on stage. Try to understand what purpose that serves.
Yes, it's a bit puzzling to you, Brash. They seem to be involved in some sort of discussion on stage. They get to a certain point in the discussion, they stop and start the discussion over again. And you've watched them do it 4 or 5 times now, and they don't seem to be able to get past a certain point in the discussion. They just start over again.
I'll look at the cat and go, not very bright, are they?
Aranon will kind of
Scratch him behind the ears.
turn her head at you.
Right. So nothing shiny, nothing interesting.
Are there any other animals?
There are no other animals at this time.
Aranon will sigh and kind of settle down.
I'm just out of my depth. I have no idea what's going on.
Nightingale, you reappear. You can see the two sort of sitting on one of the lower levels there. Just two of them sitting side by side, sort of watching the strange going-ons on the stage.
The head tilts one way. They
as
start over, it tilts the other way.
As Nightingale walks out and sees him, you're like, "Oh, thank you, gods, thank you." And I'll run over to them. Brash, what did you think?
They can't finish a conversation, and then they do it exactly again.
Oh.
Are they brain damaged?
Oh, Brash, you have so much to learn about this outside world. This is called a theater where we put on plays. They are practicing lines.
Yes, that clears it up immensely. Thank you. Are we leaving now?
Yes, indeed. I've finished my business. I can see you're clearly bored. And Aranon looks as enthralled as you do. Well, let's get off and get back to the others before we cause a stir.
All right,
Sure.
you guys head out of the theater and start to make your way back to where you left off from the rest of the group. Go ahead.
I was going to say, along the way, as per his usual MO, as he's walking through the city, he's keeping an eye out for rogue guild signs and things like that. I like to know my enemy before he's around.
There are definite signs that there is a guild, a thieves guild within Evendor. The usual markings of
safe house, not safe,
yeah,
good business.
Exactly. Avoid here.
Under the care
protection.
of this person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
I watch him watch this stuff carefully.
Yeah, well, you're getting some lessons.
Yep.
Okay, we have. We'll now go back to our other group. You wait outside for maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then 3 individuals come out. You recognize them. Douglan, you recognize them as being... obviously, Searless is back. You don't recognize, although you know it would be the king's religious advisor, but you don't recognize the person. You do absolutely recognize the third person who comes out. It is Lord Falmorn, and he is the commander of the Royal Guard, a man that you used to serve under. His full name is Falmorn Riovar. The three walk up, and Lord Falmorn speaks first. Douglan, my goodness, it has been a long, long time, my friend. How are you?
I'm getting by. How are you?
Well, as I'm sure you understand, we have seen better times in the kingdom, but beyond that, I'm good. Searless tells me that you, and I believe this is Princess Allanon, and our 3 emissaries from King Xanthrum, I believe it was.
I turn and let them introduce themselves.
Tandar walks over, and he gives the commander a bow, and he says, "My name is Tandar, and I am one of the King Xanthrum's emissaries. We wish an audience with the king in order to explain the situation that is evolving in the east, most concerning of which is the war between the iceborn orcs and the centaurs, but increasingly there is concern of the tensions within Easterly and how they may play out should the orcs break through the centaur ranks." Falmorn sort of gives him a nod and turns to the princess and says, "Princess, Allanon, what is your part in this?"
My part is mostly separate, actually. I come from the Twin Kingdoms in the north, and we seek allies among the members of the Protected Lands as we step onto the world stage.
Thank you for that. And Douglan, do you have your own business, or are you here with these two groups?
Well, I met the folks from Easterly on the road. Promised them I'd try to get them in front of the king, or you folks, as is proper. The young lass here I met last night as she helped defend Anton. So I said she could come along. It seems I'm bringing a lot to your table here. People asking for help. I'm here mostly as for warnings and news that I've heard that may affect our kingdom here.
Lord Falmorn takes a step back. He says addressing the group in general, I believe you have met Searless. This is Alina. She is the king's religious advisor. We will take this information back. We will give you an answer shortly. And they disappear back inside the castle and to have their discussion. Maybe... Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say if I could kind of pull Falmorn to the side. Just because my stuff is sort of separate, right? I kind of want to not embarrass them and just let them pass along what I've learned, unless again it's going to be something that I can explain to him and the religious leader or advisor that the warnings from Seer Yetnel, the things with the in-between, all of that stuff. It's no disrespect to the emissaries or to the princess, but I'm just sort of letting them come along. I'm here to warn my king and my kingdom, and I want to make sure that they know that's my priority, if that makes sense.
Okay. So you sort of pull Lord Felmorn off to the side and have that quick conversation, and he assures you that that will be taken under consideration as they discuss the possibility of a meeting with the king. They are gone 10 minutes or so, and Lord Felmorn returns. He comes outside and he says, it has been decided that you will be given an audience with the king and queen. We will have to make things as brief as possible, as the king is still recovering. You will be each given a few minutes to have your discussion. All of you will see the king at once. We will try and make this as quick and as orderly as possible so that the king can return to rest. But it is our belief that this is information that needs to be relayed to the king. With that, he turns and says he gets the guards to grab everybody's horses and just ties them off, and the 5 of you follow Lord Felmorn into the castle. It is so you know they're big, 15-foot high double doors that you walk through into a big open hallway, big vaulted ceilings that you would expect to see in any opulent castle. You walk down the end of the hallway, and there is what is clearly sort of an audience chamber at the end of this hallway. The king and queen are seated in their thrones as the group approaches. Lord Felmorn, the other 2 advisors sort of stand off to the side. Lord Felmorn walks up. Your Highness, these are the people that we have spoken to. We will begin with our emissaries from the east. Tandor walks up to save myself having a conversation with myself.
No, please go ahead. Go ahead.
No, with voices.
We insist.
He explains the situation, which you all know. So he goes through the war in the Barrens, how the Iceborn orcs have been are now under the leadership of a powerful orc referred to only as the Dark One. And this seems, under his leadership, to have turned the tide in the war. And the centaurs are struggling against in particular through the winter, have been struggling against the attacks. The fear now in Easterly is that the war will spread into Easterly from the Barrens. In particular, King Xanthrum is concerned that Easterly is very fractured in terms of its kingdoms, and they are not in alliance with one another. There's some alliances, there are some tedious alliances, there are some near war situations between the kingdoms there. King Xanthrum is concerned that if the war spreads into Easterly, Easterly will not be prepared to properly defend itself. And if they break through as far as the kingdom of Xanthrum, that will give them access to the steppe, which means they could then spread into the protected lands. He's hoping the kingdoms will offer support in troops and supplies to help the kingdom of Xanthrum hold off any attacks that may attempt to come through the steppe. The king and queen, the king looks, he looks well. He looks sort of frustrated. The queen looks equally frustrated. You can't quite tell what stems from the frustration, but the king sort of gives some thoughts to Tandar's statements, and he says, who else have you had this conversation with? Tandar kind of looks and says, well, we had the opportunity to speak with King Allanon. And what did that man have to say? He said that he would take it under consideration, and we are to get back to him. Of course he did. You will get no help from the kingdom of Evendor. I suggest you emissaries are wasting your time in the protected lands, and I suggest that you return to the kingdom of Xanthrum to deal with your own mess. Tandar is quite taken back by this, and he says, well, I do thank you for your time, King Evendor. I will let my king know your answer. And King Evendor, looking increasingly frustrated, turns to the queen and says, is this really what we were interrupted for? He turns to Lord Felmorn and says, you said there were others. Who are the others? Lord Felmorn turns to Princess Allanon and says, the princess would like to make an introduction between herself and our kingdom. The king kind of looks over and says, I have no time for this today. What else was there?
Colin, is this behavior, because I've been around the king, right? Is this something I've seen of him?
This behavior is extremely out of character for King Evendor.
Can I make a perception check?
What are you trying to perceive?
Is this the king?
He had a mole on his left butt cheek, Douglan saw one time.
I'm more curious if they have crowns on.
My liege, could you drop your drawers for a moment, please? I need to inspect
Yeah, are they
something.
wearing crowns?
They are not.
Okay.
They need to make a mole check.
You look like the piss boy. You look like a bucket of shit. Anyway, history of the world. Anyway, moving on.
All right. You can see that Lord Felmorn is quite embarrassed by the situation that is unfolding. He turns towards Douglan and kind of gives you the...
Yeah.
And he turns back to the king and queen and says, well, that is all, my king. I will see the visitors out, and thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, I'll put my hand on Allanon, just sort of like, kind of relaying that, like, not right now. Something's up.
You can see Douglan as you turn, and Lord Felmorn is escorting you out. Searless and Alina look very distressed. As I said, they're sort of standing off to the side, watching what has transpired, and they are visibly distressed by what has just occurred.
Divine sense wouldn't work, would it? That's not something I can discreetly do, or can I?
Well, what does your divine sense do?
Um,
Enlighten us.
The presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor, and a powerful good rings like heavenly music in your ears.
I like how you
Not being
laugh.
dramatic or anything.
Yes. As an action, you can open up your awareness and detect such forces. Until the end of the next turn, you know the location of any, evil, if you will.
You can certainly try it if you wish.
I'll just, kind of like grab my thing as we're turning away and just, Gath, are there any baddies around here?
Baddies. That's the holy term for it.
That's
Yeah.
the holy term for it.
I'm very
Are there
religious.
Any baddies? Gath replies, no baddies, homie.
Thanks, brah.
You do not sense that there is anything of a pure evil nature within the area.
Okay. Are Searless and Alina following us out? I assume we're being escorted out, right?
They remain behind. Lord Felmorn is escorting you out.
Okay.
So you travel back down the hallway. They open the door and see you outside. Lord Felmorn comes back outside, closing the door behind him. He turns to the group and he goes, I apologize for this visit. The king has most certainly not been himself since the attack, and I don't know what else to say. We hoped for a better conversation, and I most certainly apologize to you, Princess, for being so rudely spoken to. To our friends from the East, I do not agree with the king. I do think that you will find allies in the protected lands, and I do suggest you continue to visit the other kingdoms. I am sure that King Allanon will offer you assistance. But unfortunately right now, as you can see, our kingdom is not prepared to assist. Douglan, your concerns are important, most certainly, but unfortunately the king is not prepared to listen to them right now.
Did he even recognize me?
The king?
Mm-hmm.
The King Evendor may or may not recognize you. Like I said, you are a part of the royal guard, but you did not spend a lot of time within the castle guard.
Okay.
So, you've met him many times before, and but it would be like he meets a lot of people, so he may or may not have recognized you.
So just if I could sort of go back to the scene there, things that I would know out of place, obviously the character is, since we're building this now, Alina, I know, was a religious advisor when I was around, or no? Is she new?
She's new.
She's new. Okay.
Sounds like a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know Whitmark and I know Falmorn. Okay, so I'm gonna wait.
Alina
for
is a new religious advisor.
Okay.
The other two you knew from, it's a little over a year ago since you were involved.
So I'm gonna wait for the Easterly folks to kind of vamoose, if I may, and then I'd like to talk to Falmorn.
Okay. Allanon, what are you doing right now? You kept
she
quite
can
calm.
stay.
You didn't punch no one in the nose. That's good.
Well, she's in her official capacity as ambassador right now. She's got to be a little goody two shoes, but she will look up.
When you get back to Tea and Char Winery, I'm going to kick the hell out of something.
Pretty much, yeah. Basically, she's gonna look up at what's his name, something.
Lord Felmore.
Yeah, Lord Felmore, and because he did apologize to her, so I guess
he did apologize.
Right after that, she'll say that her skin is rather thick, but you'll find that her sister's, the Empress, is not. So pray that the king has a change of heart before she relays his message to her sister.
That is fair, and I do hope our king recovers soon.
Balmorn, what's going on? Who's this Alina?
She was the apprentice of the king's last religious advisor. She has been with us a long, long time.
Alina has.
Alina has, yes.
Well,
she was not the direct advisor, but she was the apprentice to the former advisor.
Okay. I'm gonna, if I may, relay to Falmorn all of the stuff that went on. I'm gonna share with him my contact with Gath, what I've become, the Dooms, how they're involved, the in-between and all that stuff, to let him know that there's a lot more going on, and I need to find out. And also if he could share with me what happened on the attack.
He kind of thinks through the information that you've relayed to him, and he says, we know very little about the attack itself, other than the king and queen were in their chambers. They said a single attacker attacked the king. They were able to fight him off. As the guard approached, the attacker got away, and a search of the castle did not offer up any clues as to who it could have been, or where they came from, or where they went to. The attack itself is quite a mystery to us. But the king did indeed take injuries, which he is recovering from. But as you have seen, Douglan, both the behavior of the king and the queen is unusual.
Very. I've always known him to be just. Even if he didn't agree, he would never treat an emissary like that.
But Douglan, he is still our king, and we must allow him the time necessary to sort this out. I don't have answers. None of us do. But these are troubling times.
Was anything taken other than the injuries to the king? Was the queen injured?
She was not. The only other thing that seemed out of the ordinary was there were several servants that disappeared during the attack. We are wondering if they may have been the attackers and simply used their positions here as a way to get in and out unnoticed, but we have not been able to track them in any way.
You heard about the Whitfields?
What about the Whitfields?
5 generations. They're part of the Dooms. Right next door, right under our noses. Duran
This is a
tried
lot
to
of
kill
information to
Anton.
process, Douglan.
Tell me about it. I'm supposed to protect everybody. Think how I feel. I gotta start with my king here. What the hell happened?
I don't know, Douglan. We are trying to figure it out ourselves. Give us some time. Speak to your emissary friends. Tell them that we will contact them when we think a better audience can be had.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the servants, their families, where they came from? Perhaps that's something that I could do unofficially, if you might.
Nobody seems to know anything about these servants, Douglan. It's very concerning.
How the hell do servants get inside the castle without any type of background check? Boy, things have gone to shite since I retired. What the hell, man?
Agreed. As I said, we are investigating it and trying to better understand what transpired.
All right. Yeah, I'm obviously from a professional, very pissed off about this, that they let in servants that they knew nothing about that could get close to the king and all that stuff. So, I think what we should do is maybe, I don't know, I'm trying to think out loud, out of character here. Like maybe we should adjourn and start seeking the sickle to get that back in play. I don't know. I mean, I could continue to ask questions here, but I think we have sort of a dead end until
Well, we have 24 hours to get replies from the Vanguard.
and then your
Sure, we
penumbras are going to hopefully get some more info.
I have 24 hours roughly to wait for my response, so we got some time in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Magic
we have
shop. Magic shop.
All we have to do is figure out a way to release the king and queen from the mind influence they're under. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy. We can do that overnight.
Yeah.
We just have to kill the spiritual advisor. We can do that tonight.
All right, folks,
Brash.
I think this would be a good spot to take a little biological break. And we'll pick up again here in a few minutes.
Yeah. Figure out who we're going to kill. Yeah, yeah.
All right, and you can carry on your discussion about what you're going to do next.
Have they come out of the castle yet?
They have. But they are sort of far in. You guys are waiting at the doorway to that third ring.
We're still at the peasant gate.
Yes.
Well, Allanon is stalking straight towards them.
Looks
High
like it
heels
went
clicking,
poorly.
eyes, fucking wild. She looks
Not
like she's gonna
happy.
kill someone.
I turned to
The,
Nightingale and goes, I think the king was doing the same thing to those people on stage and just saying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Since I so dramatically put on Longstrider earlier, she's flying. She's zooming.
Yeah.
The emissaries have mounted their horses and they're walking back out, trying to keep up with Allanon.
Tandar, a moment, please, huh?
He stops. Yes.
Listen, I know that didn't go so well, but I don't think things are right, if you know what I mean. So, let me get to the bottom of it before you write us off, okay?
Douglan, are you suggesting we wait, or should we maybe circle back to here at some point?
The latter. Don't know how long it'll take, but something's amiss. I'll leave it at that.
Understood. We are going to depart the City of Evendor immediately. We have a few supplies to pick up. We are going to try to continue meeting with the other kings until we are called back. We do not have any time to waste, so on our return, we will come back to the Kingdom of Evendor. We will hopefully have a better conversation at that time.
Safe travels, lad.
We do thank you for your introduction. Tandar says, I understand this is not your fault.
Allanon,
With that,
wait
they
up.
ride away.
And then there was just 3.
All right, the
I'm
group
working on a
comes
song.
back together at the gate into the third ring of the City of Evendor.
Well,
Well, as Allanon approaches Aranon, she's gonna, kind of pick up one foot, take a high heel off, pick up the other foot, take the other high heel off. She's like, stalks up, throws them in the saddlebag, pulls out a pair of pants, starts like shimmying into it underneath her dress, just mumbling about kings and being impolite and how this was a giant waste of time.
no, dear Lord. Sounds like it went wonderful. Douglan, fill me in, please.
Well, it seems there's more questions that we need answers for, my dear friend Nightingale. I'm getting quite sick of this. Long story short, the king's not himself, and we don't know why. He was rather rude to the emissaries and wouldn't even let the wee lass here speak. So let's give her a little space. She's a
Great
little...
big bag of dicks. That's what he is.
She's
Maybe it
just
has something to
mumbling
do with
nonsense.
that scarring they have underneath their eyes.
Yeah. Perhaps we should get to a bar and throw some back. Get in the
I
right
think that would
brawl.
be a good idea, Douglan. I think all of us could use a cooling down period. Let's
Yep.
find us a tavern and a couple of strong ales for our newcomers. Show them what Evendor is all about. This is one of the kingdoms with some of the greatest wines and liqueurs found in the protected lands.
Yeah. So we got
I'll
some
be the
time to
judge
kill.
of that.
I thought the vineyard burned down.
That was just one brush.
Do you know they make bottles, right? That they put the wine in and that stays in the wine. Anyway, yeah, we got some time to kill. Maybe we should blow off some steam.
We will find a tavern.
All right. You move towards some of the outer rings. Gets kind of less formal as you move out towards the outer edges of the City of Evendor.
Oh yeah, we definitely want to go to a place where we won't stand out.
All right.
I don't know if such a place
Outside the
exists.
walls.
We look like a circus group, for crying out loud.
Need to find a good bar with a rat infestation.
All right.
It's our first level quest.
You find yourselves at the Three Arrows, which is a tavern on the main route back out of the city towards the outer ring, just before the final wall that's still being constructed.
As we are headed there, Nightingale will kind of keep an eye out to make sure that they're not being tailed again.
It's tucked in my belt.
I almost hope we are.
I will try to do it sneakily, Colin. Like, oh, pretend to look at something in a nightstand. Well,
All right, give us a perception check.
Keeping in mind that we weren't being followed until
You're
you said
fairly
something.
certain that you're not being followed.
Okay. So, Princess Allanon, is Aranon going to be okay tied up outside?
Tied up?
You want to tie her up?
I'll let you do that.
Wait, hold on. If you think that you can get her tied up, you can leave her tied up outside. How about that?
I wouldn't do that, Nightingale. Something tells me that's not a wise
No.
decision.
I want to see this.
I didn't mean it as something disrespectful to the creature. Merely that us going inside and leaving a jaguar outside unattended might draw attention.
Do they
Is
have
there, like,
tables in these
countryside?
places?
Yes, indeed, it is a. It's quite a large tavern. Just strictly a tavern. It's not an inn as well. There's probably close to 40 people jammed in this establishment, which is already quite busy for still being relatively early in the morning.
Well, if we get a booth, then she can lay under the table.
Does she fit?
Depends on the table.
You find yourselves a table
Or, you know,
in
if
there.
there's rafters.
You find a place in there where the cat can lie up against the wall, close to the table that you're all sitting at.
Excellent.
You have your horses all tied off outside, and you come in. You all sit down, and what you would assume to be a waitress makes her way over and. Good day, gentlemen. Will we be... oh, and lady? Will we be eating?
I think just strong ales for the table, please.
Oats
I'm
milk.
going to need something a little stronger. Do you have whiskey?
Yeah, what
We
do you got
do.
behind the bar there?
Oh, we have a fine selection of wines and ales and some liqueurs.
Give me your strongest, please.
I can
Bring
do
me
that.
a shot of everything.
I can do that.
Goat's milk. If someone else is paying.
God damn it.
I'm not sure we
Damn
have
it.
goat's milk, but I will check.
If not, bring him an ale, love.
In a bowl.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That I can probably do. So she heads off, and the tavern is it's fairly busy, but just mostly seems folk that are just going about having breakfast or an early lunch. Not a lot of bring me a shot of everything in here currently.
We're not even at we're not even at lunch yet.
No, you're not even at lunch yet.
I'm trying to be blend in a little bit and be discreet so I don't stand out. I don't know how successful I'm
Be
being.
discreet. You just ordered your drink in a bowl.
That's
And-
not for
and-
me. It's for him.
There
her.
is a man dressed as a jester beside you, Brash, so you don't stand out nearly as much as you probably think you would.
There's a jaguar on
Good.
the floor. There's a tiny human ordering one of everything.
Yeah. Douglan's
A
sitting
chi-
there just like,
Douglan,
A child just ordered one of every hard liquor
Yeah.
they had, so
yeah.
So, what's the plan? Douglan, from what I'm reading from you, it didn't go well with the king, and you're saying he's not himself. Allanon, you're pissed at your first contact with the King of Evendor.
that is
Fair
not
enough.
a king.
Oh, easy now, lass. Easy now. That is my
That is a-
liege and lord.
Chicken in his suit.
I do believe you described him as a bag of dicks earlier.
That too.
Well, since you guys have nothing to brag about. I was quite successful in my message sending, I must say. Me and Brash met a few of the Penumbra bards here in the city, and I was able to get some key messages away to my people. Brash, I forgot to tell you, and Allanon, you'll probably be interested. I now have sent word to my people in Allagon, sorry, dry from too much
hard liquor.
No, I just don't ever shut up. That there might be some interest in finding your men in Allagon, the ones dealing in humanoid furs. Now, Allagon is a city the Penumbra Bars are quite entrenched in. So if there's something going on there, they'll probably be able to root it out for us. And I've also sent word about the situation with THR Winery. Just giving them an update on the situations and what we can do to help, as I had promised before, Douglan.
Oh, I'm glad one of us was successful.
Well, you know. I don't like to brag, but I'm pretty good with people. But enough about me and my triumphs and victories. This king issue, Douglan, what do you think's going on?
Don't know. It wasn't just me. It was also a commander that I knew. He also has some worries about the king's behavior. He's not quite sure what's going on. They had servants that disappeared, that they don't know who they were, where they came from. We have no leads to go after. Yeah, it's a right shite show. And to say nothing of the fact that we got a really upset princess here.
Well, it would seem quite the coincidence that at a time when other kingdoms are asking for help, there's an attack on the King of Evendor, which seems to have changed his mind.
We're not quite sure where his mind is. He was impatient. He had no time for anything. He didn't even talk to her.
He didn't even hear my name.
That's not like him, from what I remember. So yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence, but I don't have answers as to why. And quite frankly, I don't even have directions of what our next move should be, other than maybe go get the sickle. But that leaves a lot of questions unanswered here.
That leaves a lot of time.
A lot.
Well,
maybe he'll pull his head out of his ass by the time we get back.
It's a lot of time to pull one's head out of an orifice that tiny. You are quite the descriptive young lady, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Just
I do my best.
Little bit of a warning, lass. You're in his kingdom. Okay, understand you're upset, but there are ears and eyes on us. So let's not poke the bear, as they say. Okay?
Our waitress arrives with drinks. Well, I did find goat's milk, which I'll be quite honest, surprised even me, but in a bowl, no less. There you go, and an ale for you, and an ale for you, and 5 shots of our best for the young lady, and I believe you also wanted something a little stronger, sir. Hands you a glass and drink up. She heads off to tend to the other patrons.
I'll put the bowl down for
Aranon.
Aranon to drink.
Allanon will pass you a shot.
Brash, don't you dare.
It's about that size to you, actually.
One good, yeah, to you, these shot glasses are like...
Yeah. Brash, please get off the floor. Don't drink out of the bowl on the floor, please. Brash, please.
I look down on him going, what? Set it down nicely.
So, we have some news coming from the Vanguard. I should be getting word back from the Penumbras within relatively the same time frame. What are we going to do to occupy ourselves in the city for the evening? You two are
Was
new
it
to
in
this
here the
world.
evening?
None of your information is coming until the next day.
That's what I meant. We still got an evening to kill.
Oh, we should probably
kill?
find somewhere to stay.
Well,
Don't tempt me, Brash.
You're welcome to stay again at my place. It's not too far away.
You two want to get acquainted with Evendor? See a bit of the sights?
Sure. There's their shopping.
Excellent shopping.
What are you looking for, my dear?
It's not about what you're looking for. It's about the experience.
Oh, dear Lord.
Evendor is a very rich kingdom, by the way. So there will be high-end stuff all over the place. So knowing that you have fancy dresses, you're going to want to go shopping.
Yeah. You gotta go shopping.
Maybe that'll cheer you up. Nothing like a little retail therapy, eh?
Exactly.
A little retail therapy.
And Brash, maybe we can get some more costumes for you.
We could get him some cat ears.
Yes.
I've got those already.
Cat ears to put on top of your costume that's covering your
Cat
cat ears.
Exactly.
It is incisively deceivious. That's a word I just created. Deceivious.
So what do you say, folks? Let's get a nice cool buzz on and hit the shops, eh? Brash, don't drink too much of that goat's milk.
Brash
It's
wasn't drinking the goat's
It's in a
milk,
shot
darling.
glass.
I know.
All right, you all finish up your drinks. Allanon's got a pretty good glow on. She's ready for some shopping, and you leave the tavern and head back out into the increasingly busy city as we're now nearing noon.
I'll make sure the innkeeper's not following us.
It'll be whoever would like to pay the tab. It's 5 gold pieces.
I got it. Oh, that just reminds me. That
Yeah.
damn raven stole half our coin.
Son of a bitch.
That's true. We'll have to rectify that later.
Damn that Corvus. I knew he was a swindler.
He was part of the party, so whenever we distributed coin, the crow got equal share. But he paid all the bills, though.
It'll now be Aranon is always
Yeah.
getting a
Portion.
fifth of all of the coins.
So Aranon pays all the bills now, okay?
Okay. I forgot to put my money in my character sheet.
Oh, your
that's a
pouch is
problem.
empty. I see who's not picking up the
It's
tab.
beforehand.
Princess.
Hmm?
Kingdom of copper coins.
We need money. That's easy to come by. It's on all these people.
Ooh, I like where you're going with this, but I don't think Douglan would approve.
And he doesn't see won't hurt him, and more importantly, us.
All right, you all head off into the city of Evendor as
What's an EP?
Electrum.
piece.
That's
That's
It's a half
between
a
gold
gold.
and silver?
I think
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
half a gold, yeah.
It's 5 silver, half a gold. It's a rarer coin. Most people do not deal in Electrum. But as Douglan mentioned, and I believe we had the conversation earlier, the city of Evendor is a more luxurious city than probably many in the protected lands. You have a lot of very rich merchants and people who trade in all the fine liquors and ales and meads and wines and such that come out of the Kingdom of Evendor, which is sort of what they're known for. So you do have lots of higher end stores, but there's lots of areas within the City of Evendor that appeal to the common folk as well. What in particular are you looking for?
I like
Gosh.
plate mail, but I can't afford it.
Don't you have a rusty set?
Who are you speaking with, Brash?
Nah, well, yeah, I'm just Brash wouldn't know, just a player. Thought he picked one up in a dungeon somewhere.
Douglan, you're looking for plate mail?
Yeah,
What would-
I seem
what
to
would-
be
what-
the one. I seem
what-
to be the one jumping in front and taking all the hits. I wouldn't mind a little more protection from you.
Well, let's go
I
see
mean-
what one costs.
For you, I should say.
Oh, slip of the tongue.
Yes, of course.
You have been drinking.
I have. Yes, I am good.
Haven't we all?
Yeah,
Indeed.
I'm even like singing out of tune. Humming.
Allanon is on Aranon's back because she
Like-
can't
Like,
walk in a straight line anymore.
yeah. Any good dad that has to go to a kid's activity, they get a little drink on, and it goes so much better.
We'll stop by an armorer, Colin. Nightingale wants to see if we can make an arrangement to get our muscle a little more protected.
Little more muscle.
Besides that chain mail across the belly seems a bit tight.
It's starting to bind a little bit. Not gonna lie.
I saw
All
some-
right, you
we can get it
you ask
molded to you.
around. You ask a good couple of wraps of rope. We'll hold that all together for you. You going around asking at some of the blacksmiths and such. You are directed to go to the Dragon's Hide.
Ooh. We will go to the Dragon's Hide. Allanon, don't worry. We'll hit dress shops next.
Pass one on the way. I'm stopping.
Duly noted. Duly noted.
The Dragon's Hide is a high-end armory. It is a place that those that have a fair bit of coin go to have custom-made armor, but it is one of the few places in the City of Evendor where you can come across plate armors of the various types.
Well, Douglan, I don't know if we can get you plate, but what about splint? Would
Might
that be a
little better.
step up in the next
I believe
chain
so.
of...
Well,
Let me
let's see how much
reference-
it is first before we decide what we're getting.
Mhm.
Let me reference my items guide that I have here in my pocket.
What? As a warrior, you would know which armor is better than the next.
I sure
assume.
would.
I assume.
All right,
I
you
sure would.
you guys enter the Dragon's Hide, and you are there's suits of armor all about this this shop on stands. Some are well constructed but plain. Some are, very ornate. All of the plate is finely carved. Lots of different suits of armor. There is a gentleman in the back you can see is working on some plate armor, and he stops his work and walks out to the group as you enter his shop. And good day. You're shopping
to
for
you.
armor, are you?
Indeed, indeed. You, my friend, are privileged enough to have Douglan McCain, one of the King's guards, visit your shop.
If he was a King's Guard, he wouldn't need to visit my shop.
Oh, I forgot to mention he's retired.
Oh, all right then. And your name is then, sir?
I am Nightingale, penumbra bard from Allanon.
Well, welcome to the city.
Thank you.
Who's shopping for armor today?
I'll mosey up. You got something a little looser around here?
All of our armor can be adjusted as necessary, of course. What is it that you're looking for? We specialize in plate armors here, so we've got breastplates, half plate armor, or a full suit if you've got the time and the coin.
Wait, sure, I got the coin for the ladder there.
Well, Douglan, we did pick up a couple gems from one of the places we've been. I don't know if it'll be enough for
How
plate
much do we
men.
have?
Well, not being a gemologist, I'd say it's about 200 golds worth of gems. If I was to wager
give or
my
take.
thieves' eyes.
Do you bring them out?
Nope. Not after you're asking.
Well, you see, they're shiny.
I
Oh,
see the way you eyeball my bells.
Can I get your name, Master Armor?
My name is Elben.
Elban?
Elben, yes.
I'm just looking to upgrade what you see on me. You got anything? Maybe not the full plate. I'm not quite ready for that. Unless you got a hefty discount.
Well, probably, not knowing your budget, an upgrade to breastplate, I might suggest. That would be 400 gold pieces.
Yeah, out of character, I'd be going the wrong way. Chain is 16 base. Breastplate is only 14.
Yep. You basically, you have to move up to plate to get an improvement.
Splint is 17.
He does plate armors.
Damn it.
What, my friend, would it take to put our friend Douglan in a more practically functional suit of plate? Doesn't need to be ornate. We're not fancy prancing. It just needs to block a sword or two.
One of our standard suits of plate starts at 1,500 gold pieces.
Starts at 1,500.
It's all right. Let's head on out, Nightingale. That's all right. Let's get the little lady a nice dress.
Oh,
We don't
I'm only getting started, Douglan.
Just real quick out of character. Can you sleight of hand a whole suit of plate armor?
Just
wait, I'll try it on, and then I'll run
And
out.
just run out.
And if they stop them, it wasn't good plate.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I mean, tell me, Alban, do you have splint or just the plate?
We just deal with plate armors here, Douglan.
Got it. Nightingale, I appreciate the effort, but I think our time might be better spent elsewhere.
Are you sure, Douglan?
Oh, I want a suit of plate for sure, but we do not have the coin, and there's no point in getting half a plate.
Don't think we have the time either.
That is true.
Brash, let's go get the wee lass here a dress or two. And Brash, is there something you'd like to see?
Here? No.
City.
Of course.
Magic shop. Magic shop.
There you go.
Alban, my good man, it seems we've had a change of heart and finances. Would you be able to point us in the direction of a person who deals in the mystic arts?
There is There's a magic district in town. I'd suggest you check there.
Thank
I'm
you.
not familiar with any of the stores, but if you head into the magic district, you trip over them.
Well, let's hope so.
He gives you directions on how to find your way to the magic district.
Okay, we'll head there. What are you
All
looking
right.
for, Allanon?
Something interesting. Oh no. You'll know it when you see it.
Just as idle chit chat for you two, as you guys have probably recently learned, Douglan and myself are being spread rather thin. We have many things in the pot, one of which is headed into the wilds. Now, you two seem very comfortable in the wilds, and I was wondering if you would be interested in replacing our ranger, who has been called off for more urgent matters related to his family and such. Something to think about. You don't need to give me an answer. I do understand you've been heavily drinking already this morning, so just something for you guys to think about. We do need guides, as clearly I am not a woodsman and Douglan is... Douglan.
The wilds are much more civilized than this area, but
They have fewer
I will.
kings.
I will mention that there are people that are paid to chase me up there.
Yes. Indeed, but
Probably by these same people that we're tracking down here. They
Oh,
got
We can always
wind.
take a ship.
They got wind that I was tracking them down, and I think they hired people to stop me.
So, Brash, you're telling me you're hunting and you're being hunted.
Pray.
oh my. Well, would you not be better off in your natural environment, perhaps?
That's probably where they're looking for me.
We could take a ship.
What if you
Yes, we could take a ship, dear. Yes.
Yeah.
We're not
Avoid
Oh,
talking
I
all
don't
the-
mind. I don't
let's
mind
go
going
around.
back. I'm just warning you that there might be complications.
Oh, I'm sure.
complications? He says, Nightingale, complications. Brash,
can-
that's all we have right now is complications.
I'd still be up there if it wasn't for Allanon.
Well, as I said, that's one of our priorities, so it's something for you to think about and consider. We're not sure what your plans are, but you're both very handy in a fight, as we've witnessed firsthand. And as you do, as you Pawsey, and as you do know, Corvus has left us, so we are in a bit of a pinch for when it comes to the wilds and a guide.
I have no real direction as to where to find those who I hunt. So any direction's as good as the other.
Fair, fair.
The wilds we go.
Hi ho, hi ho.
Staying with you two is probably a good idea.
Well, we are tracking down information that may help you find those other assailants.
Yeah, I had a vision of you guys.
You did
Seems-
speak of that the other night, didn't you?
Seems that my elders think staying with you might be better. I don't really understand. We shall see.
When you say your elders, are these the ones that passed? Aren't you the last of your kind?
Yes, they passed. I thought it was a dream, but the coincidence is too strong. I had never seen you two before, yet you were in my dream many months ago.
I don't think it's a coincidence, lad.
Well, whatever it is, we are here now.
Yes, the city is not productive.
It does tend to have a lot of distractions in it, doesn't it? Such as the
Allanon's-
magic shop.
Allanon's going to be swaying back and forth, going, "We're going on a road trip."
Hopefully, Aranon's driving.
You haven't seen what happens to me in a magic shop. I'm sure there's lots of shiny things. It should be most interesting.
All right. The group has now arrived in the Magic District. The store that catches your eye, the one that does appear to be one of the largest in the area, is called Opulent Oddities. And there are people coming and going regularly from this storefront.
Well, shall we check out the Opulent Oddities? This should really knock the socks off Brash. We'll enter.
He's wearing
All right.
socks.
You,
I gave them to him.
it's part of the costume.
It's actually more hosiery than socks. It goes quite up the thigh, but you know.
Oh, the claws shouldn't have.
Does it have a
any
little
issue.
bow?
I'm keeping the claws in. It's getting to be troublesome, but I'm doing it.
All right, you enter the Opulent Oddities store. It is a magical store. Your immediate sort of perception of the store is it definitely caters to users of magic. There are rows and rows of shelves and tables full of components, spell components. There seems to be a bit of a slant towards alchemists that may be trying to make potions and such with some of the components you're finding. There's probably a dozen or so robed individuals that are picking through the various components, looking for just the perfect rose petal or eye of newt.
Oh, good one.
There's
And
three or four one-eyed newts walking around.
Oh,
A couple of blind ones.
who is the
There's
shop?
a counter at the far end of the store that would seem to be where the proprietor of the establishment is sitting.
Pulling on his
Nightingale.
collar a bit.
Kind of walk through, eyeing up components here and poking a few things there as he makes his way up to the front.
All right. There is a gentleman sitting behind the counter. There's some behind him. They're basically wall to wall, just a huge set of shelves where you can kind of see what you perceive as probably some of the more rare spell components are being stored. And this gentleman is thumbing through some large tome, only half paying attention to what's going on in the store.
Greetings, sir.
He looks up. It's hard to gauge his age. He looks young when you sort of look at him, but at the same time, he seems a bit weathered and worn. Gray-haired, but he seems younger than his hair portrays. And he looks and says, what is it that I could get you then?
Well, I shan't make this mistake again of speaking for my friends, but I am in the market for a couple sending stones. You don't happen to have any, do you?
We do not. We mostly do sales in the components needed for magic. I do have a small selection of completed potions that are available, but I do not sell magical goods per se. You will not really find that here.
Well, that is most unfortunate. What potions did you have pre-mixed then?
Is there a particular potion you're looking for, or just are you asking in general?
Well, and Nightingale will lean in and be like, "Do you happen to have a potion of enlarge reduce?"
I do not, unfortunately.
Okay. Anyone else looking for anything in particular?
My elders used to have a circle of truth. Anything that
Ooh.
compels to truth.
I don't know if such a potion exists. It probably does. We mostly deal here with potions of healing and of various types. But I'm sorry, I don't think we have anything of a truth serum, I guess it would be.
Well,
Douglan, need anything?
No, I'm good.
I look around like the second store we come to where we don't want anything.
Welcome
Yeah,
to
'cause
the city.
He
Lots
doesn't
of
deal
shops.
in. He doesn't have spell components. His is all faith-based, if you will.
The
All my
proprietor
magic
of
is
this
focus based, so.
the proprietor of the store, he goes over to one of the shelves and he brings over it's a wooden box that has a bunch
Needles?
of bottles in it that are all labeled, and he says you could have a look through these then and maybe get a better idea of what it is that we sell.
Do you know of any shops specializing in spell rot needles?
I do not. That is an interesting request. So the potions are, there are healing potions. There are, just give me 1 second here. You find quite a few healing potions. There is a couple of potions of climbing that are available. A potion of comprehension. And that's it.
Wow.
That's all.
As a player,
has
healing's
available.
always good. As a character, I wouldn't know anything about it.
What is he asking for a potion of healing? For good, upstanding citizens such as ourselves.
Well, for you guys, double the price. 50 gold pieces.
I still have 2 if anybody needs one.
You should try to sell them to them, see if it goes up in price.
No, I'm gonna hold on to it. A question, Colin. We're at a. I mean, I know how much gold I have. My guess is, except for maybe the odd potion of healing or whatnot, is it fair to say we're going to be priced out of things that are going to make a difference, or am I completely misguided here?
What would you say is something that will make a difference?
How to disguise.
Yeah, plate armor. You know, I mean, we're 3rd level. I have 99 gold. I'm not buying much, so
Yeah.
I
Been
know.
holding it out.
So as a
Have to buy a
group,
horse.
we might as well have the discussion. So you are never going to, with me as your DM, you are never going to be able to easily purchase magical items. I think that
Totally
is
get it. Yeah.
you know, that's an unfulfilling way to come across magical items. The more
Burn the
common
store down.
things, the more common things like potions, the occasional scrolls. Maybe once in a while you might come across someone that may be able to work on finding you a magical item. You guys, you know, Barry and Egan, you've played with me before, and I do allow the situation from time to time where you can work towards by finding the right person, and they find the right person, and a deal is brokered, that you may come across magic items in that way. But for the most part, any magic store is only really going to offer up fairly mundane items, potions, scrolls, spell components, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. I guess really where I'm going with this is what we're doing right now.
I think we should pick up some healing potions, but I can't say
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
How much is a climbing potion? You said there was a potion of climbing? Or
Yep,
spider climb or
absolutely.
something?
The climbing potion is 100 gold pieces.
And, you know, I can climb, so
Well, not all of us have claws.
yes, but I have a rope.
No, that's true. You can
just
climb up
pull you
and
up.
pull me up. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, I'm
put
good.
you up there.
I do have a immovable rod too.
You do?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of the most useful things in the game.
There you go.
Well, if nobody's
the
interested-
climbing, I can climb, but it's doesn't, you know, it's not like spider climb. It's not, you can't climb
Yeah.
on anything. It's just, you don't take half movement.
and the comprehension, Colin? What's he
Yeah.
want for that?
For the Potion of Comprehension,
Yeah.
that's a really good question.
I think, you know.
It's hard to comprehend.
You got to drink it to know.
I hate
how
to say
much
it, I don't know what a Potion of Comprehension is worth, so I'm going to put it at 100 gold pieces.
Ooh, take it.
It's worth 1,000. Let's resell it.
Well, I'm good. I think I've got everything I need. So if everybody's good, shall we move on?
Yeah, let's go dress shopping.
Okay. our hopefully we don't get into too pricey of a shop and just
Well,
window shop. We'll all be like, how much is this? 300 gold. Okay, we're out of here. Bye.
But remember,
Well, actually, now that I think about it,
it's third
nothing's
price.
gonna fit me anyway.
Yeah, it's a third price. So, yeah.
It would require a fair amount of tailoring to make the average
we're gonna go
dress.
We're gonna go to Baby Gap.
For those mothers who put their little children into contests.
Yeah, I would think, Amy, that any clothing that Allanon gets made of a fancy nature has to be tailor-made.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, nothing to do today.
Well, maybe we just go home then.
head back to the winery and come back in the morning.
Yeah, we'll do some whining and then
Yeah.
come back.
I don't
maybe
mind.
we'll meet some bandits in the road.
One could only hope.
I know, right?
Okay.
Work off some of that angst.
We'll head back to Tea and Char Winery. Actually, how about we go investigate
The
The
neighbors? The neighbors.
Duran's place.
The
Yeah,
Whitfields.
I like that one.
Whitfields.
Colin's
that
like,
I
I
can
didn't prepare that.
Colin's like, fuck.
Or even better, we're going to, since Evendor's on the coast, we're going to go rent a ship.
Yeah.
And we're going to go sail off into the distance.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It looks like there's a
We go off the
whirlpool
bottom
right
of the
off
map.
coast.
Do we reappear at the top of the map?
Yes. The world just wraps.
Yeah, we'll head back to Tea and Char Winery, Colin.
Alrighty. So you do a little bit of shopping around.
Are you okay?
Oh God. You all right?
Lose more players that way.
I inhaled my talkie.
Inhaling any sort of food with hot spice on it is not.
I
not a
hate
good
when
idea.
that happens.
All right, so the group, you do a little bit of shopping through town. The high-end nature of the majority of the shops in the City of Evendor is everything that Douglan said it would be. You can find stores that offer, most anything in town, but nothing that you're really looking for at this time. You saddle up and head back out of town, back to Tea and Char Wineries.
I'll keep an eye on the back trail.
Let's get a perception check, Brash.
There is a perception check here somewhere. Yeah,
That's a fine perception check.
it's his shirt doing it.
You are certain that you are not being followed back to Tea and Char Wineries. There are plenty of people on the road, going the same direction, passing by. I'm making a bit of assumption, Brash, that you're working the forest and the fields and you're off the beaten path.
Yeah, I'm staying
but-
hidden so they don't see me.
Yeah, nobody seems very interested in your business. As you arrive back at Tea and Char Wineries. The construction, which everybody just loves the construction, is in full swing. The groups are busily rebuilding Tea and Char Winery. And as you arrive, Anton appears to have been watching for you. And as you sort of get to the barn, one of the few buildings that did not get destroyed during the initial attack, Anton comes over and, Douglan, I need to speak to you at once.
All right.
Come with me.
All right.
I'll take this disguise off and give it back to Nightingale somewhere along the road.
Your hose has a few nail holes in it.
Yeah. And as Allanon said, hair
Everywhere. In your keyboard, in your mouse. It's just everywhere.
So Anton takes Douglan around to the side of the barn and he says,
Ooh, you're in trouble.
Stabs him. Roll for initiative. I'm kidding.
Oh, sorry.
Douglan, there is something very concerning that occurred through the night.
Tell me about it.
I had some of the construction workers go out to where we were attacked last night to deal with the bodies, and Douglan, the bodies are gone.
All right. That's disconcerting.
It is indeed.
Any strange tracks leading away? Were they able to decipher?
Well, I went out and had a bit of a look myself, and I believe there are some tracks that head off through the vineyard, but I dared not chase them myself.
No, please, Anton. You know you're a target, right? You need to
I
stay
understand,
protected.
lad, I do. I've been watching my back, and so have all of them.
We can have a look. Which direction?
They headed in sort of a northerly direction. This area is so full of trails and paths and such. I dare not even tell you where they're headed.
Would I know if the Whitfields are to the north?
The Whitfields are to the north, yes.
Fair bet they might have head that way, eh?
I don't want to guess, Douglan, but if I was a betting man, I would say that's exactly where those tracks will lead to.
All right. We'll have a look. Thank you. And then I'll go back and tell the guys and say, well, I think we need to go hunting. Brash, you up for it?
Sure, I can track just about anything.
All right. Seems like the bodies that we took care of last night are gone. They disappeared in the night.
Carnivores.
Leading off to the north.
Well then, let's make haste to see what we can find.
Yep.
We'll go back to
That underground spring.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then see if Brash can't pick up some tracks and some scents.
So let's see. Tracking is survival. Yep. Follow tracks. There we go.
Yep, survival.
If you would like that, okay, nope.
Yeah, no, there's no tracks here.
All right, Aranon will take a look. She's good at finding
Aranon,
things.
before you do anything, allow me to give you a bit of guidance, my child.
I can also assist if it's survival, because I am proficient.
I didn't see any
go
paw
ahead
prints.
there, Nightingale. Give us your guidance,
Boop.
and then Allanon, you will get advantage because of Douglan's assistance, his help.
Nice.
Nice.
You didn't seem to.
Wow.
There's a
guy-
giant trail of blood going that way.
Oh, you're looking for human prints. I was looking for wild animal prints.
Do you glare at Brash like, oh, come on, son? What the heck?
No, she'll just pat him on the head.
Or
It happens
take,
to us all sometimes.
take it as a teaching moment. Now you see, Brash.
You see
gotta
the
look-
blood smeared on the grass. We have to follow it.
I thought we were after some carnivore that took them.
What does she see, Colin?
So Allanon, after sort of looking around the area, you do find several sets of footprints, which you're guessing were based on the depth of the footprints, were probably laden with some heavy weights. It looks to be probably a half dozen people, and they headed north through the vineyard, away from the area. Easily tracked for you.
Easily
Well,
said.
with a 22.
You gotta.
One of
I got
them
it.
limps.
I got it too.
Yeah, exactly. You know what they had for breakfast.
Right.
Shut
Here
this
we
gap.
go.
Do you, Brash, want to be in the lead?
Yeah, I'll
Pretty
go off to
stealthy
one
guy.
side, stealthy, and go out front most of the time as we travel, just to make sure there's no traps or anything set up for us or ambushes.
Right.
Nightingale will have his short bow ready.
The group departs north through, You travel through the vineyards, which are quite extensive for Tianchar. As you get on the far side of the vineyards, it goes into forest, sort of not particularly dense forest. And you move from the forest into a bit of an area of broken lands. And you're able, Allanon, to follow the trail. Whoever these, you're fairly certain now, 6 individuals. They're heavily laden, you would presume, with the bodies that they're carrying. You're able to follow their footprints. The paths lead you through the trees for about 15, 20 minutes or so through an ever-increasingly dense forest and more broken land. So that you're now having to kind of circle around hillsides and down into little ravines and back up again. As you come around a corner, up ahead you can see an individual is standing on the pathway. He's
Facing
wearing a dark cloak, but he is, I guess, actually the first to see this would be Brash, who's making his way ahead of the group.
And
So Brash,
probably
give us
up on a cliff side.
yeah,
So.
give us a stealth check, Brash.
Come on. There it goes.
Yeah.
10.
As you make your way up onto the hill, the individual on the pathway sees you up there and calls out to you, "There's nothing that you're going to want to see here. You should turn around and go back."
I'm very disappointed. I'll turn around and go back.
Okay.
Did the rest of us see this little interaction?
Well, I come back to you, the rest of you say, there's a guy up there. He doesn't
So
want us near him.
there's a bit of the hillside that that Brash made his way up on top of. You're walking around. You're kind of circling that hill. You
try to get
hear
there
the
beforehand, yeah.
conversation. You hear the conversation transpire, and then Brash kind of comes back down over the hillside.
We're off Tianchar's land, right?
Correct. You're
Okay.
sort of just in a forested area now, still
Okay.
moving in a northerly direction towards the Whitfield orchards.
There are extremely alert people up ahead. Very observant.
Oh,
Allanon's gonna slide off of Aranon's back. Unfortunately for him, I'm a nosy bitch, and starts, walking forward.
I'll follow.
All right.
I'll try going around the other side, see if I can sneak up on him from the other side of the path.
The other side of the hill?
Well, I presume there's a path that's up on one side, so I'll go down to the path, talk to them, and go up on the other side of the path. And so it's not really, it's just the other side, not really around the hill or anything. I'd have to see the map.
Yeah, the hill itself was not a part of the path.
So it came around.
Yeah, you guys are walking around the hillside. You kind of went up on top of it to get an idea.
Is there a hill on the other side?
There is no path going around the other side of the hill, but you can go around the other side of the hill.
Is there a hill on the other side of the path from the hill that we're talking about? Is there a second hill? Or does it just keep going down, or is it flat?
It's flat. Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to appear someplace they don't expect me. How big is this hill? I mean, is this like an hour trip, or is this like a minute trip?
Oh, no. It's a quick climb up onto the hill. Yeah.
Okay,
Is
so I'll
this
go.
wooded or is it open?
It's sparsely wooded.
So yeah, I'll try to
What?
go quickly around the other side and stealthily approach from the other side
Okay, give us a stealth check.
and see if I can do any better.
What's the exact temperature of the weather, Colin?
It's a nice,
Okay,
warm, sunny.
not-
Better.
I'm just teasing. Come on.
I have this on the cat,
Alright.
so I wanted to see if it would apply. Okay.
I am just playing.
All right, so Brash, you head off sort of the other way around the hill as the group continues on the established path. You guys, are we following our?
I'm following Allanon. I want to know where I'm going with this is I'm going to ask them why they feel it's okay to take stuff off my land without my approval.
So I would assume then it's going to be Allanon, who was fiercely.
Allanon's looking for a fight.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
ready. Followed by Douglan and trailed by Nightingale and Aranon, and I would assume Brash is trying to get an advantage from the side.
Okay, I have to clean up our marching orders here a little bit. So I've got Douglan, then Nightingale. How would we travel single file? We might as well establish this now. Who would be in
Allanon
the lead?
took off first.
Yeah.
Allanon.
Well, this would be how we would traditionally travel.
In
so
general.
Oh, in
Yeah,
general,
do we
yeah.
use- yeah, we're using the party sheet.
Yeah, that's in the party sheet
Yep.
under order.
So go ahead and put me on a chart so I can move myself. On a
Did you
sheet
say
chart.
short?
Well, it was a sheet, a chart. I wasn't sure. Jeez.
Oh,
I
excuse
don't know
you.
if I want to be on a chart.
Can we get Aaron
Don't
on
even give him
there,
a
too?
break, man. Don't even give him a break.
Oh my god.
So, what's our order? Our single file order, and I'll set it up here. Brash, are you
Yeah,
generally
Brash
in the
probably-
lead?
Yeah.
Okay. Then
I would go second, I would assume.
Yeah, typically.
okay.
And then Nightingale will bring up the rear.
So then Allanon, and that would have,
Aranon
generally
beside her.
speaking, Aranon beside you, correct?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So give me let my movement move. Help me off to one side.
I'm just strictly using this as a marching order. We're not using this as a map.
Well, I'd say I'd be 20 feet or 30 feet away. So
Mhm.
It's an order, not necessarily a
An
accurate
exact
representation of
okay.
It's
where
just
people
a
are.
have, yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you may be closer. Sometimes you're going to be further away. I just want to know what your general order would be in travel.
Who dies first, basically.
Yeah, who dies first? That's exactly what I want to know. Who gets hit by the ballista first?
Well, if we're all staying in a line with like this, we could get all of us with one, you know?
I could get all of you.
Yeah,
yes.
gotta watch that
Who-
chain
who
of
get-
lightning.
The lightning bolt, exactly.
Then
I just want to know who
Aranon
gets
can
struck.
get that Oath of Vengeance thing that you were talking about.
Okay, so Brash is traveling around the one side, while the rest of the party that would be placing Douglan in the lead as you come around. You see the individual that Brash was talking to. He is wearing a dark cloak, holding a light crossbow, and clearly watching the trail around him. Just beyond, well, not just beyond him, beyond, sort of past him, maybe another 20, 30, maybe even 40 feet or so away, you can see a group that is, it looks like shoveling. And this individual turns back to the group and says, I told you, friend, you need to move on.
Is it your habit to go on someone else's land and take things from it?
Oh, this is your land, is it?
Well, it sure ain't yours.
What
Are we
the
still
lady
moving
said.
towards them?
Oh, I'm still moving forward.
Allanon's gonna signal and Aranon's gonna prowl off into the undergrowth.
Right. Well then, with that, I get to say the words that every DM likes to say.
You're all
Total
dead.
party kill. No, sorry, no, that's not it. I meant roll for initiative. All right, just give me a second here to
Jesus.
get us organized.
I guess I'll just go last.
You just decided?
I will go.
No,
last.
Oh, never mind.
I'm glad you got that out of the way, Douglan.
Who's to say, knowing how I've been rolling in this game?
Crap.
Oh man, I'm
Alright.
gonna have a crisis of conscience. I mean, they really haven't done anything. Am I allowed to
Oh,
attack?
I
this
will
world?
take my halberd and I will
Crisis
bring
of
it
conscience.
down hard.
I'm not sure now. Am I allowed to kill them?
Am I
So
not allowed to
confusing.
kill them?
Okay, I will place the party upon the map here. Then I will share it out with you. Just give me a moment. Based on our discussions.
I'm excited. I prepared different spells today.
All right.
All right, I need to roll
Spells.
initiative for our NPCs.
No one needs spells.
I'm excited. I get to change my spells out. That's something I've never got to do.
Ooh.
I pray to the nature gods at the beginning of the day. Ask them what I need.
What? Douglan is both first and last.
Is praying to the nature gods also going to the bathroom, or is that?
No, that's the porcelain gods.
Got it. Well, that's. I've been there.
If they hit
Colin?
Allanon a little too hard, then she might.
Hmm.
All everything she drank earlier on top of them.
Colin, you knew we were gonna fight these guys. They could have said, "Hey, neighbor, here's a hot dog. We're having a barbecue," and we would have been, "Fuck
Just
you."
not that kind of name.
We're having a barbecue. Cracks knuckles. We sure are.
All right, sharing out the map.
The map is called Searching for the Doom Bodies.
Is that not
Oh
what
God,
you're doing?
another taki, huh?
You're just not making me laugh when I'm eating them.
I can't promise that.
Is that not what you're doing?
It is, it is.
But it's nice to know that no matter if we came up from the bottom or came in from the side, we'd find the same area.
All right, so the gentleman that you were talking with obviously is fondly referred to as Cloaked Man number 9. You can see the individuals in behind him that appear to be filling in some type of hole they have dug. Brash, you are making your way around the other side of this hill. This is the hill that you were originally up on. That Cloaked Man 9 saw you, and now you're making your way around the west side of the hill. The rest of the group is following the trail. And we will start at the top of the order here with our Cloaked Man 12 is looking around.
Real quick, can you
Yep.
let me have the monster manual?
No.
But I need it.
What do you need the monster manual for?
Apparently one of my forms is a monster.
One of your
no.
forms is the monster? Well, then
Yeah,
when
so you can
take that
change
form,
into-
You'll see its stats.
Yeah, 'cause
I'm not going to give you the monster manual.
Nice try.
I can't change without it. I don't think.
Oh, I think you
You
can.
should- I think you can. The way that particular extension works, it should allow you to take that form regardless.
Okay.
It will pull the necessary information from the monster manual, but if you do have a struggle with it, Amy, let me know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I didn't want to hit go until I was actually gonna go. But
All right. So Brash.
Okay.
So our first guy takes the dodge action. Our cloaked man 12 took the dodge action.
Okay. How high is this cliff here?
It varies between about 8 and 10 feet of climbing to get up on top of it. Pretty easy climbing, though. Definitely something that Brash would have no problem scampering up.
So the end of the arrow, would I be visible by this guy here? Because of the cliff?
as you cross the path, he'd be able to see you. That is the direction that he's watching.
Ah. So how far does the path go where I can get around so he can't see me cross?
You'd have to probably go back about 50 feet or so as the path sort of curved and then went directly west.
3, 6, 9. So let's see, 3. Okay. In that case, we'll just go the easy way. Okay, so I probably move through the trees up to here because I can't see him until I get there, right?
Correct.
So I'll move there. Then seeing him, I'll go ahead, so that's 10. 20. Oh, what's the error for? Okay, and then I'll, on my belly, go the rest of the way to here so that he doesn't see me up here. And I can do that with my double movement and still stay stealthed. So
climbing is
up
going
there.
to be double your movement.
And no, it's not.
Yes, the climbing speed is a tabaxi.
Oh yeah, right. So you do. Nice.
I'll be on my.
Just go. Oh, this climbing thing.
Yes.
It's just so easy.
It's
I'll
called.
belly up to the edge of the cliff here and get ready to do something, but I'm not going to be the first to attack after that. So.
Okay. All right. You slither up to the edge and sort of survey the area. You can now see all 6 of them. Sort of the 4 so far are seemingly staying on task. They're trying to get whatever they're filled in as quickly as possible, while Cloakman 9 is interacting with the rest of the group. Cloakman 12 still seems to be trying to keep as much of his attention on the path that goes in the westward direction as possible.
That's good.
All right. Cloakman 7 continues to fill back in the hole, as does Cloakman 18, which takes us to Nightingale.
Now we are sure these are the men we're after?
No.
I just asked them not to take stuff off my land, and this weird voice said roll initiative.
The gods operate mysterious ways.
they seem to have some red just hovering around them. Makes them look like bad guys.
I will take my bonus action to hide, and I will move to here, staying in cover.
All right.
And I will ready an action that if Cloak 9 is hostile towards Douglan or Allanon, I will release my arrow into his abdomen in a very painful location.
Ooh. So,
Do you want me to-
not in. This would be a non-lethal attack that removes the leg.
Yep. Do you want me to do a stealth check or anything?
Yes, a stealth check, please. All right, you are able to slink over there unnoticed.
That's
by
me.
Our cloaked man.
Okay. That's the end of Nightingale's turn.
Aranon right now, I believe, has sort of snuck away from the group, so has her own initiative. Is it a he or a she? I don't
She.
actually remember. She. Okay.
So if I sneak, then I wouldn't be able to do an action.
It depends on how fast you move. Your sneaking's half speed.
Yeah.
But the act of sneaking.
Nope, that would just be a check. You could still have
Okay.
your action. Yep. But yeah, you're moving at half your speed if you're sneaking.
Are these bushes, you can see through these bushes or trees or under them?
They are trees. All you're really seeing at ground level are trunks.
She's gonna sneak.
Keeping the trunk between.
Very sneaky.
And if Cloaked Man 9 does anything hinky, she's gonna pounce on him.
That's good. All right, Cloakman 17 continues to fill in the hole, taking us to Allanon.
Just that long stride again.
That was the sound that happens when she costume changes.
Interesting. It wasn't doing that before.
Maybe mage armor.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. But I've had mage armor on the whole time. and it didn't
You
do that
still
before.
have Long Strider on. That's what we heard.
Wow.
Right, no, that's not what I wanted. What? No, stop.
80 feet, that's moving for those little legs.
Why? Why does it do that?
What are you doing?
I just want to make sure. Okay. Right. She's gonna go up to there. And then you okay?
And then
And then Chance is gonna fall out of his basket? I don't know, but he's all poofed. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Okay.
He just rolled initiative.
I guess. That was weird. Okay. And then very subtly, she's gonna wiggle her fingers and hope no one notices.
all right, what you wiggling
And-
your fingers for?
Wow, that's tiny. That's actually supposed to be that big. I don't know why it's so small.
Is that you?
No, I'm gonna fairy fire these guys.
Okay, so if you double click in a magnifying glass, you can change the size that the thing will appear as. I think, if I remember correctly. But you don't have to do that right now.
Yep, if it catches all of them, we know the gist
Yep.
of what you're doing there. So.
Yeah. So I guess I do that.
You deselect them. you have to target them.
Yeah, you've got it.
Thought I did.
Nope, just you. You've targeted yourself.
You've targeted
You're on
yourself
fire.
And you failed. Yeah.
You just cast it upon yourself. You look like a
Okay, but-
flaming, angry child.
They're still not. There they go.
There we go.
But untarget yourself while you're at it.
That on
looks
target
good.
me?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay.
All right, try that again.
There we go.
Ooh, 1 success and 3 failures.
Nice.
Now leave them targeted and do your damage, and you need to.
Very fire damage?
No,
It's not
just-
damage.
No,
It's
sorry, not damage.
But you should have.
But put the
push.
effect on.
Yeah.
Put
I
the
guess-
effect on. Yes.
You
The
just
different
click it.
colors don't do anything, right? They're just different colors.
They
Yeah,
tell
they
you
don't do
who failed and who saved.
No,
No,
like
you-
my
you
fairy
get to
fire,
pick.
I get to
They
pick
don't
what
do
color.
anything. Yeah, they don't
Okay.
do anything.
Well, I'll pick
Interesting.
green because I feel like that'll be the.
Nice. They
Nice.
start glowing
Right, the
green.
green fire. Very nice.
Make sure you're not. You
Am
still
I
have
fairy
an
fired?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you failed.
You failed, but you didn't get the effect. So.
Alright. That's it.
All right. So Cloakman number 9, seeing the continued advancement of the group, takes a shot with his light crossbow at Allanon.
Ah, that's bad.
Alright. Well, he get. Who was it? Oh no, 7.
Number 9, right in front of you there.
No, 9 does?
Yeah.
Oh, well then he gets pounced on.
He's selected himself. All right. He takes a shot. And it flies wide of you through the trees and into the rocks.
As he sees this cat approaching him at high speed.
Yes. Uh-oh. I've made a bad life choice. Number 6. I think he was our one guy that managed
Oh, you
to
get to
survive
pounce.
He
that
gets
one.
pounced on. Because Aranon was holding her action.
Yep,
Right?
that's right.
Yeah.
My apologies. Go ahead. Oh. Seems happy.
That's a lot.
That's why he missed. I'd miss.
That thing came flying out of the woods at
Alright,
you. I think
let me-
I'd miss too.
Alright, so then he has to make his save.
Oh, he very much
He
succeeds.
succeeds.
No,
Alright, he succeeds, so he just takes the claw damage.
He's definitely reevaluating his life choices.
He is. I had that cat sitting by me last night.
And weren't you holding an action too?
Myself?
Do that.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
you
that's
sure
true.
were.
Do I have line of sight?
Yeah, sure. I'll give it to you. We don't know exactly where the trunk of that tree is, so.
Sweet.
And you
Goes
will
like
put
this.
you will put yourself in a position to see him. So
I will pop an arrow off with me short bow. Blink.
yeah,
That's the sound it makes as it thunks into the tree just beyond you.
Okay, I'm no Corvus. Give me a break.
He ran off with the bow.
yeah, he took the
It's
bow,
not
damn it.
your fault.
All right. Our Cloakman 6 at this point is dropping his shovel and rearming himself with his crossbow. You can drop the shovel as nothing. Pull out the crossbow as his interaction and take a shot at Allanon. Our one guy that managed not to get burned up. And he misses. They are fantastic shots, these guys. They're the Doom's best artillery.
There's a strong breeze, Colin. There's a strong breeze. Okay, I was affected too. I get it. I understand.
You get where they're coming from. Douglan.
Based on our brief encounters, I've only seen well, I know Nightingale. He's done a lot of long distance shots. I saw Brash fight, but it was all close range. Is that fair to estimate?
Yep, so far.
And then same with Allanon?
No, I believe Allanon used her bow in the last battle.
Yeah, I've done bow, magic, and hand-to-hand.
Yes.
Okay.
And turned into a tiger.
And
That was my hand-to-hand.
Okay. All right. Let's go right.
which went claw to
Here.
hand.
Seeing that, he took a shot at Allanon, Douglan rushes to jump right in front. No disrespect, lass. And he's going to take a couple shots at my least favorite cloaked number.
Number 9? Oh,
Yes,
you could take
of
personal.
course. And then he swings his halberd back around and shanks that one too. All right.
Damn it.
All right, that's my turn.
Well, he is kind of flailing around, having just been attacked by this panther. So
Yes.
All right. Number 12 is going to make his way over to here, and he is going to take a shot at the panther. Ooh, next. All right, Aranon gets a nice flesh wound from a bolt from our friendly neighborhood Doom. Brash.
Brash is going to consider his position logically, then go into a rage.
You know what?
Yep.
I think I'm mad.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm
That's
determined. I'm not happy with the situation. I'm going to show it to everyone.
yeah.
I am
I don't like that.
And that's the noise he's going to make as he leaps down the cliff.
Okay.
And
Runs out of movement speed.
runs into this guy using his double Tabaxi movement. And oh yeah, it's down here. Swipe at him. Oops, that's the wrong one. Take that away. Actually, don't bother because I forgot to click on him because this is all new to me. Okay, so attack. Damage, attack. Okay, so it's this one. What the hell? Where'd 3 dice come from?
You got me.
Oh, one of them was the critical hit. What? Yeah, okay, so critical hit on the advantage attack. Then I guess nothing happened to him, and that was the other dice.
Yeah. There
Wait,
was no
a 1 on the
additional-
critical hit table is nothing?
Nope.
Okay, so what was the D6?
That was the critical hit table.
That was rolling.
That was a
on the
critical hit, okay.
table. Yeah.
And then the one was, okay, so, okay, good. It's too many dice floating around. And...
You'll get used to
attack
them
damage.
eventually.
Okay, it automatically got sneak attack. Cool, so then we'll...
You have
That-
yourself targeted.
I do
That's
that.
why it rolled 3 dice. Well, it untargeted you when you missed yourself.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah, you did him in good.
And then he'll take his second attack and go, huh? And he has no more movement left, so he's screwed. He'll growl at number 17. There we
You're
go.
next.
Yes. Yeah, that's my
You're
turn.
next.
Yeah, the
All
cat
right.
comes streaking over. Yeah. I don't know what dear old number 12's thinking, but
Yes, this thing flies by him and shreds one of the people behind him. All right, that takes us to Cloakman 18, who drops his shovel, pulls out his crossbow, and takes a shot at this thing that just shredded his friend. He's kind of shaken and misses. It seems to be the theme with any sort of arrow or bolt at the moment.
He's glowing green. You gotta give him some credit, you know?
Yeah. He's wondering that, so am I like this forever now? Nightingale.
I shall move to there. And then I will shoot at, let's see how far we at here. Yeah, I'll shoot at one of the glowing dudes.
18 or probably 18.
Yeah, probably 18. That guy's in my range.
Okay.
Kind of draws back and checks that nasty
Checks the
wind.
I figured out how to make it bigger, guys.
Got me last time. Ah!
Just a slight misjudgment in the wind again, and the arrow zips past his head.
Need to lick the other side of the finger.
Yeah, damn it. Yeah, he'll hang his beak in shame.
His beak.
That'll be the end.
Aranon.
Oh. Let's go and bite him.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not feeling good about the situation. Decides his best option is to die.
Good. I'm glad somebody's killing something.
Actually,
around
wait, no,
here.
don't do that. I lied. Well, I don't understand why it does that. I really don't.
You can move with your arrow keys.
Alright, we're gonna go there.
Alrighty. And that's it for Aranon?
Yep.
Alright. Our Cloakman 17 is going to, as the others have done, drop the shovel, pull out his crossbow. He will also take a shot at Brash, who is just standing across from him. And this seems to be the theme. He also misses. Allanon.
Alright, Douglan. You stepped in front of the little princess. But, you suddenly get the feeling that there's something very large behind you.
Oh,
Oh!
I'm back in jail again.
Well, thankfully, it's not that. It's just a gigantic wolf.
And the gigantic wolf leaps over you and charges.
Nice.
What can this guy do? I think it's just this.
Iron.
myself targeted still?
No.
No, I don't think so. It was just Cloakman 6.
Alright, so I missed. But he failed a strength save?
Why did you miss or hit? How you tell?
It said miss. I'm not sure why.
It said miss, but then it also rolled the strength check, which
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
strange.
what it's actually doing because I can't read the sheet.
Is that would be knocking him prone from the attack?
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what a wolf does. All I have is a button to hit attack
Oh, interesting.
because I can't read the
Okay.
manual.
Well, we'll sort that out.
Nice job.
We'll sort that out later.
No, I'm serious. Like it says, wild shape wolf. It gives me the health stats, the dex, all of that, perception, keen hearing, and then I have cast, attack, and there is a save.
I would think it's probably knocking.
Yeah,
knocking
when
him prone
when they
during
attack,
the
I think they knock creatures prone. So
Yeah.
just
He's prone.
He's prone. Is there an effect?
Guess I don't. Yeah, I made it prone.
Okay, perfect.
I guess I
Alright.
knock them over when I attack them. That's kind of cool, even if I don't hit them. That's me.
Still went flying on his ass regardless. All right. Well, he's gonna get up.
You could just crawl away.
And he's going to drop his bow, pull out his sword, and attack this gigantic wolf that just knocked him on his ass.
Did you take the prone off before you rolled?
I did not. Thank you.
Who takes the prone? Oh, there it goes.
All right, we'll try that again. Well, actually, what were the two rolls?
5 and 18, but you don't know which was which.
Yeah. Okay. We'll
There's the
just
5.
in here.
There's the 5. Yeah. Aww.
All right, he connects with his scimitar, just like
kinda
his
hard to
daddy
miss.
showed him. Oh, it's a flesh wound.
A little bit of adrenaline would go a long way.
Oh, you failed your concentration check, and they all are no longer fairy fired.
That's a shame.
But it's okay. I have pack tactics. I get advantage.
And that takes
anyway.
us to Douglan. What you got,
hey, Douglan, shake it
Uh,
off, buddy. Shake it off.
Douglan's like everything's just moving too fast for him, right? There's
Just a
cats and-
nanosecond ago,
yeah,
Allanon was behind you. Now
Yeah.
the gigantic wolf dove over your head.
I'll protect you.
We got Tabaxi running 80 feet. We got gigantic wolves jumping over me. We've got a panther. He's
60 feet, not 80.
slowly just plods over to this guy here. He's gonna stay 10 feet away. Like lumber, like he's in slow motion. And take a couple of cracks at this guy. Probably miss.
What's all this rushing around?
Yeah.
Oh, the knees.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, he hit. Wow. Somehow.
Yeah, hit.
That was a close one, though.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Just takes him out.
Yep. I think that was 15 movement.
You have like a
think-
pole arm or something, right?
Yeah, I have
Halberd.
10-foot reach.
Yep.
Was that 15, I think?
Um,
I think it was 15.
20, 25, 30.
No, it was 25? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll take 5 more and go right there.
Okay.
That's it.
You're assuming that wolf is her.
I did see it. I saw it. It's well, I don't think it has nuts, but something flashed right over the top of my head.
Douglan watched the shadow behind him move
Yeah.
from this small childlike
Yeah.
figure to this
The
giant
back-
wolf.
The back of my hair just
Okay.
went like this.
All right. Brash.
oh. Okay.
Look out, he's angry.
You're still angry.
You get an angry sound every time?
Yep. long as you're raging.
Some of that's me. I forgot to hit my track buttons. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he'll move over here. Oh, he'll move over there. And even if it's difficult terrain, he'll still get there.
Okay.
Turn around, face man number 6, and everything's good. Attack. Hits. Claws. And then spin around on his tail. And click him, click him, and whack him. Or not. Oh, yes, whack him. And that's a sputnik. Ah! That's my turn.
All right. Wow. There's not many guys for me to get slaughtered anymore. All right, Cloaked Man 18 is going to attack Brash with his scimitar. Oh, he connects. Partially resisted, so you just get a nasty mosquito bite from it.
Makes me mad. Oh, wait.
You're already
raging. Nightingale, you're already really mad.
I
Nightingale,
will
what do you got?
move to there, and so there's 2 guys alive still.
Yeah, both.
Just the 2 of them in the back there of the hole.
If you hit 18, you'll probably kill him.
Yeah, I was Nightingale, as he's moving forward, will yell out that we need one of them alive. We need to take one of them alive for questioning. And then I will shoot an arrow at 18 because I am a bow expert.
Yes, we've seen it.
Now, let's see if I hit first.
You do?
Nice. Woot woot. And then for his last 5 movement, I'll just step there. Cautiously as he's approaching.
All right. That moves us to Allanon.
She's gonna pounce on that guy. And
Okey
hopefully
dokey.
not kill him.
So you're trying a non-lethal attack.
I'm just trying to pounce, but without... No.
You succeed.
No, he succeeded.
Oh, he succeeded. Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
So he didn't get knocked down.
Well, I guess the other one will live.
Yeah, he's dead.
That just sounds like a horrible way to go.
Oh, there's
Not a
just
good
blood and
sound.
guts flying everywhere.
Oh, don't
Sure,
make me
I'm
throw up in
good.
my mask.
All right, that takes us to our one cloaked man, who is going to
Run.
run. He dashes like he's never dashed before.
Titty.
Allanon. I'm sure he's gonna get away. I'm sure.
Knock him down.
Where'd my button go?
He
Alright.
fails.
He's prone.
All right.
If I'm just gonna, pause on top of him. I'm not gonna fight him unless he attacks one of my friends.
All right.
And that's it.
That's our group. So I'm going to. We got him sort of subdued there with this giant wolf on his back.
Growling at him.
Group, we are out of combat.
Okay, I'll move on the other side just to make sure he doesn't try to run
All right.
and growl at him.
There's getting a lot of growling at.
Nightingale will run up and.
We're a group of few words.
I'll peck him in his eye.
Douglan's gonna go to the thing and grab a shovel.
Nightingale will ask them, the poor gentleman who's surrounded. I'll ask you this once. As you can see, your life hangs in a balance that is heavily weighed in our direction. Where did you come from and what were you doing?
He kind of looks around, this giant wolf pawing him basically into the ground, and he says, the missus sent us to find out what happened and to dispose of anything. I don't know much. I just do what they tell me.
When you speak of the missus, who are you talking about?
Miss Melania Whitfield.
Why did you attack us? Not friendly for neighbors.
We were told no one was to see what happened.
I look at my claws. That include you?
Yes.
Anybody?
I growl.
I was
What
gonna
am
say,
I
like-
supposed to do? I can't speak.
I'm digging.
A giant wolf looks sharply at you.
I'll tie him up. How's that? I can do that. I have hands with opposable thumbs.
Yeah, actually, let's not tie him up. Let's let him go with a message.
What?
I think we
Ask
should-
him what's in the thing.
Bodies.
Burying the bodies. Is that what
Are
it was?
you
Yeah.
digging around there, Douglan? Are you
I am.
trying to figure out?
Yep.
Yeah, there's bodies in there.
We should make him bury his friends first.
Oh, that's a good idea. Buys us some time to consider what to do.
How strong does this guy look?
He's not very strong. He failed his strength check.
Yeah, it's pretty average strength.
I'll run, grab a shovel, hand it to him, and tell him to start digging. You got a few more bodies that bury, you scum. And that gives us some time to think of what to do with them. I think we should let him go. This will be Nightingale talking to Douglan and Brash.
Out loud so that the guy can hear.
So I think we should rip his toes off and feed it to the wolf. So I'm thinking we should send him back. This will be Nightingale again talking to Brash and Douglan in private. Send him back with a message to Lady Whitfield that her presence on Tea and Char Winery will cease as of today.
Well, if
Any-
we want her to cease, we should go kill her.
any action or presence of the dooms will... What, Douglan? What do you want to do with them if they keep showing up?
I thought the Vanguard was gonna take care of the Whitfields. Was I wrong, or they just knew about her? They knew about the Whitfields being part of the Dooms.
They weren't sure. They were going to
Right.
go investigate, but that didn't mean they were immediately.
Well, they were. The Rainiers said they're waiting on word from the High Command as to what to do with the Whitfields.
Because I was gonna say, if they said guard, then they're strike two, man. It's
they're
not
stuck
doing
in
a very
the
good job.
hole of bureaucracy right now.
Yeah,
Well,
it's red
if you're-
tape getting in the way. I get it. All right.
If your justice is going to work, we should probably go tie her up so she's still here when they show up.
We're not Vanguard. We don't have to wait for their approval. I'm quite frankly tired of my neighbor coming into my land and putting knives to my friends and family. So
Well, if we send this one back, though, she'll probably run.
well, no, we're not sending. We'll take him back and we'll go have a visit with Lady Whitfield. That's what I would do.
Hmm.
The wolf's
So-
gonna pace back and forth a little bit as though frustrated, and then shift back into her human form so that
Yeah.
she can speak.
No, I think we need to.
So far, your part of this conversation has just been.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
Scooby from.
I do have to say it's rather disturbing to watch a wolf transform back into a person. It's going to give me nightmares.
Do your
Yeah, you
clothes
should see her
stay
do it the other
on? What
direction.
happens there?
It gets absorbed.
Yeah,
It's magic.
I know.
It's magic.
I pull an
So, yeah.
ectoplasm from the Never Never.
We
Yeah.
could ask this gentleman to get us in the secret way. I'm sure there is a secret way into the...
Well,
Let's ask him how many are left.
we can all grab some cloaks and then head back to
Yeah.
Lady Whitfield.
Dress up like they were.
Yeah,
I have a cloak already.
Oh,
Brash.
Brash.
pull your head out of your arse, man. We're trying to go
No, he
incognito.
has
I
one of
have
their
one of
cloaks.
her-
He's gonna
I have
pick
one of
up a
their
cloak
cloaks.
from one of the
Yeah.
guys.
He's been
Yeah.
wearing it all along.
You guys know how to get blood out? And also, I'm a bit short.
Yes. You'd have to
Looks
fold
at
it over
Aaron
your
on.
head.
She doesn't really match the description either.
Well, she
If
can
you're
like
the rider, you'll be the right height.
Well, we'll head back cloaked.
How many guards are still there? I'll ask the guy. Then I'll growl if he's
There's-
not answering.
There's no guards. There's just the people who work there.
And how many people are there?
Maybe a dozen or so.
We got
They
him.
sent you to collect these people because you were the strongest.
Ooh, I don't
were
know
the
why
dumbest.
they picked us.
Subtlety in language. Are you the strongest group of the group? Are the rest weaker? Or are the rest stronger?
They're the same as we are.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Not with the surprise advantage.
Not without it.
Well, are we going to make this poor fellow dig
Oh yeah.
6
Oh, yeah.
graves before we go? Should
No.
be morning by the
Well, we
time
only
he's
really
done.
need one
No.
grave big
No.
enough for 6
No.
bodies.
I would know where the Whitfield's home is, correct?
Yeah, I mean the trail out of this area presumably would eventually meet up. You know, you would know the trail system to get to the Whitfields. Like I said, there's trails that wander all over this area of Evendor. You know, they're used for hunting, for walking, for carrying bodies to their
Final
their real
resting place.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so here's what I think I would like to do if it's up to the group. I would like to gag this guy, put his cloak over, and go to Lady Whitfield. And we wear cloaks too. Allanon and Aranon lag behind. stay within, eyesight, but behind.
Yeah.
And the three of us go with him in tow, with him gagged, and let's go pay a visit.
And we'll tie his hands behind his back. Yeah, I like it.
We can cut off a couple of their hands and tie him to the front so it looks like his hands aren't tied behind him.
Easy, Brash.
Holy dear
Easy.
Lord, you're
Jesus.
morbidly creative, but
Morbidly creative nonetheless.
yeah, we'll tie him up, Colin, start heading to the Whitfields.
Do you, so just so I'm clear, how do you dispose of the bodies? Are you going to finish burying them all, or are you just going to leave the scene as it is?
We'll
We
get
started digging, but one man is going to take an awful long time to bury all of
I
them.
say we beeline it.
well, he's digging and we're kind of sorting this. Nightingale will search the bodies just to see if there's anything on
Like
them.
plate armor.
Might be in
I
a,
do
might
not
be in
know
a,
plate armor.
a pouch or something. One of them's got some plate armor just hanging in there.
He just happens to have a suit of plate armor.
He wishes he was
Yeah.
wearing it.
And if there's nothing of interest, we'll get said prisoner to drag all the bodies and pile them on top of the hole he was digging.
So, in searching the bodies, you find a bit of mixed coins, some gold, silver, copper. On one of them, you find a small wrinkled scroll of paper. I'm going to move this into the party.
Tell me it has something to do with Melton. I will find this man.
Who's this
All
Milton you
right, so
speak
we're
of?
piling all the bodies together.
Yes,
He is.
he is.
All right. So this might be a little bit outside of the realm of this spell, but we'll try it. She's gonna, or Allanon's gonna take a seed of one of the local plants, put it in the middle of the bodies, and then use Druid craft to make it grow and cover them.
Ooh.
Nice. Very cool.
Interesting. I like it.
Are you going
I
to
don't know if there's
share,
like pushes or
Nightingale?
whatnot, but
Just share what, Douglan?
That
Share
got
what?
gobbled up quick.
Yeah, where'd the scroll go?
I was like reading and all of a sudden, boop, gone. Okay.
Sorry,
All right.
what?
You have the scroll, Nightingale, since you
I
were
do?
searching the bodies. Yes.
what is it?
We don't know. Did we know
Oh,
he
it's
took
just
it?
a laundry list. Lame.
Secret location of plate mail.
Douglas doesn't care.
It says, Ladron, you must find a way to report in as soon as possible. There are events transpiring that only you can help with. Better understand. Please do your best. Notice signed, The Wind.
The wind.
The
Is
Wind.
ask him, is this Lundgren?
No, it was found on one of the bodies.
Got it.
One of the bodies that was doing the burying.
Got it.
Is that guy Ludgren?
He is the one that's left is not London.
No, the one that died.
One of the ones that died. Well,
Had-
you don't
had
know
this
who.
on.
Well, we'll
Lundgren
ask the
was.
person.
That's why we asked the guy.
Point at him.
Yes, he says the one that the scroll of paper was found on was Lundgren.
What was it? It was signed The Wind.
Yes,
the wind in
wind.
Las Vegas.
The Wind.
The wind.
All right, well, I'll ask
Not
this
the
guy if he
wind.
knows who he is.
Did you hear that, Colin? Allanon's going to ask our prisoner who the Wind is.
It's. What are you asking me? The wind blows through the trees.
Definitely not the smartest bunch.
Us or them?
Them. Remember, we were trying to qualify how they picked them. It wasn't for their intelligence.
Well, we'll find out when we get to the Whitfields.
Yes. To the Whitfields we go.
So yeah, she casts to kind of overgrow the bodies.
Yep.
And then
You pile all the bodies into the into the area that they were already burying the previous bodies in. Using the spell, you're able to just basically grow shrubberies over top of it all, and yeah, it's not going to be seen.
I can't wait until we break the wind, huh?
Oh,
Are we
Oh.
gone with the wind now?
Oh god.
So yeah, let's go pay a visit
Yes.
to Miss Whitfield. Disguised.
I mean, you guys were laughing when we said we are going to go there directly, like he didn't have it prepared. Ha!
Yeah,
I am
we'll
the DM.
try.
I have all things prepared, whether I do or not.
Yes. Let us go. We're
No,
just
we've
going to
decided-
tag and tie this guy.
We've
Yep.
decided we're going to go straight to Allanon right now.
Yep.
I'm ready.
Dropping everything.
No. We're getting on a ship and we're going to my kingdom.
Yes, right away.
Thankfully, it's a mere 18 days away, so I have a bit of time to prepare.
We will begin our trek to the
Whitfields.
Whitfields,
To the Whitfields.
next to the Hatfields, and
And
The McCoys.
you, yes, it's right next door to the McCoys. So for my clarification, you are bringing the one prisoner with you.
gagged and
He's
bound.
gagged, tied,
With his
but
friend's hands
cloaked.
tied in the front
Yeah.
to make it look like he still has hands.
They're just hanging there limp.
they're flopping around, all sort of.
But they're
randomly.
hanging in a necklace around his neck.
And we're
No,
all
we-
wearing their cloaks, Colin.
Yes.
Yes. So
And
you look
I'm-
like the returning group
I'm riding Aranon farther back, and we're
with a cloak,
sneaky.
doing your
Bra-
best to.
Brash, how tall are you?
6. No, 5, 5, 6. 5,
5'6". So we could throw. You'll look just like a
Yeah.
regular person. Then okay, sweet. It's just our baby.
Yeah, just me.
You'll
All
lag
right.
behind in the darkness.
You follow the trail. Douglan has a fairly decent sense of direction in these parts. Is able to lead you back, sorry, not lead you back, but lead you to the Whitfield farmhouse. It's a fairly large operation. It has several large barns, what you assume to be probably the accommodations for the hands, and then the main farmhouse itself. There are lots of workers left milling about. Most of them are around the farmhouse area itself, the central area. You see a few people as you're approaching are out in the orchards doing whatever it is they do out there.
Are they surprised to see cloaked figures?
They don't seem to be paying any attention to this cloaked group returning.
Do they have weapons like crossbows?
The ones that are left do not appear to be carrying crossbows, but you can see they are still armed with swords at their sides. Their activities look like they're just going through the daily chores that would be undertaken at the orchard. But they are all clearly armed. You can see them. And they're not wearing masks. They're not wearing masks or the cloaks, but they're armed.
And they're paying us no mind.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, let's go to the house if there is one.
I assume it's some sort of main house, like manor type
Yep,
thing. Right?
there is a main house. It is clearly the main manor house for the orchard.
Yeah, we'll head directly there.
All right. You make your way into the main area, into the and make your way up to the main farmhouse. Nobody really is paying you much attention. They're just going about their business. As you get closer, you realize you've seen about 8 other workers milling about.
All armed.
All armed, yes.
Would I consider this odd, based on the 2 decades that they've been neighbors to us?
That they're armed?
Yeah. Like workers. Like we have workers at the winery that I assume are not armed because
they are not armed. Yeah, it would be unusual just for the workers to be armed.
Okay.
You're as I like to jokingly say, your unrolled perception is they're maybe on edge about something.
They're So I let Brash and Nightingale know that this is not normal. They're on high alert, lads.
Through the front door and find a lady.
Possibly be our fault.
Yeah. Their attack party didn't return.
Of course they did.
That's
We're
us.
here.
They're returning right now.
The fake arm guy.
Oh yeah, right.
The T-Rex. He's just walking along.
Just hands dangling randomly around.
One falls off. We pick it.
We pick it back up.
Okay, you arrive at the front entrance to the manor house.
I don't knock. I walk right in.
Yeah, walk in like we owned a place.
The door is locked.
I unlock it.
Just by power of suggestion.
Very, very quickly, I lock it and not break step. Or at least that's what I'm going to attempt to do.
All right. So the door. So first of all, you can give me whoever's going to attempt to pick the lock.
I'll give it a shot.
Can do so.
Can I? Oh, I don't need
you
to
don't
do
need
anything.
to.
Don't even break stride.
So, as you attempt to pick the lock, Brash, you realize that the door is not locked; it is barred.
Window it is.
It's barred from the inside.
It's barred from the inside.
That's why I tell the group. Knock.
Yeah, we'll knock.
All right. From the other side of the door, a woman's voice says, "What is it that you want?"
We have to report about your group. I don't say that because I growl. Who says that?
Nightingale will put on a slightly huskier voice, and he will say, "My lady, it is I, Ludrin, returning. We've completed your mission."
There's a pause behind the door.
Pause.
A lengthy pause. There's also pause in front of the door, but we're not talking about those right now. And the voice on the other side says, "You're not Ludrin." And that's where we'll stop the night.
Told you, the voice was a much higher pitch. At least that was what it was when I took his throat out.
I couldn't grasp that from his screams.
What his normal
His voice was very gurgly when we last heard.
Yeah.
All right, I am going to end off the stream right there.
Thank you.